know what, Leo? Let me just say something about the huddle really quick. When you in a huddle, usually it's just the quarterback, one player calling the plays. We got multiple quarterbacks in this huddle, and we calling all sorts of different plays.
Exactly.
Hey, the word of the day, man, is respect. If you don't got respect, you don't have nothing in this game, man. Respect, you can't buy it. I can't assign you respect. You gotta earn it. You gotta earn it. You want your name on the back of this jersey to mean something, you gotta earn that respect. You want these colors, these jerseys to mean something, you gotta earn that respect. Snap in, snap down. Every single time you step on this field, man.
Oh yeah, we in the huddle, ladies and gentlemen. We gonna set this off right.
All right. Everybody out there, my Central New Yorkers and live stream listeners, I welcome you back to the huddle. I am Kenny C. Alongside me is the real Lil. Anthony is not here with us today again, but he'll probably be on the show with us pretty soon. But we have a great show for you guys today. What's going on, Lil?
I'm just ready to get this show on the road.
There it is. You heard it here.
Let's get it.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are back for another great week of sports.
Yes, we are.
Should be a good one. We have a bunch for you guys today.
What do we got on the agenda?
So, to start it off, we're going to talk about LeBron. You know, obviously his historic milestone, passing Jordan on the all-time scoring list. We'll get into that. A little bit about who we think, is a better overall scorer, Jordan or LeBron.
Now that's the debate everybody's waiting for.
That's a good one.
We got y'all right off the bat. We also got y'all's Barkley comments on Kyrie, Irving. We have Kyler Murray being chastised, being criticized. Oh my gosh.
Rondo
mobilized.
As well. Rajon Rondo sitting with fans instead of with his own bench. What is going on in LA?
You better off being a fan coming to the game than playing, my brother.
It's crazy over there.
I mean, and when we get to the second half, we're going to explain the topics. Then we got some baseball. Kenny sees hockey, real little boxing. We got so many topics, so much things to get into. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to get in the huddle. 607-753-4819 is the request line that you're going to call up to get in time. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, 607-753-4819. It's approximately 6:03 p.m. and it's time. Ladies and gentlemen,
let's get this show going. Let's get it rolling.
LeBron James.
Let's get it going.
LeBron James passes MJ last night in career points, even though the Lakers fell to the Nuggets 115-99. Let's get it right off the bat, Kenny. See, we ain't playing no games, all right? We might be in a huddle, but we ain't playing no games. Who is a better offensive player? Is it LeBron James or Jordan? Let's solve this question right now here in the huddle.
All right, so Lil, me and you, we are big advocates for Jordan. We both agree that, we still pick Jordan over LeBron as the GOAT.
Mm-hmm.
It's very disputed, and let me just say a little bit about that real quick. People try to dispute, LeBron or Jordan. This debate is going to go on for years and years, even after LeBron's retired.
It's going to go on for a long
time. I feel like this
time.
is never going to end.
It's an ongoing debate.
It is.
That's just probably never going to end.
And the way you look at it is, the eras were completely different that these men are playing in, or playing in for LeBron and played in for Jordan. And, LeBron's still going, so we don't know what's going to happen with his ending career stats. But, Lil, to answer your question, I'm going with MJ, his airness, as the better scorer overall.
Okay.
Yes, LeBron passed him on the all-time scoring list. However, you take a look here at Jordan with shooting. Jordan has 10 scoring titles. LeBron has 1. So that right there, portrays to you who is more dominant scoring-wise. In the playoffs, it's a complete mismatch. Jordan has averaged 40 points per game in the NBA for a record 5 playoff series. LeBron, he has had 0, and that's in 4 series. He shot less than 40% for those 4 series. So, and Jordan did all of this, Lil, before the rule changes came, making scoring much easier, such as, getting rid of hand checking. Much more physical defense was, kind of relieved. And also the 3-second rule was also put in place. So you can't just camp the paint. So, in my opinion, Leo, I'm going with Jordan overall.
This is a up for.
It's
an up in the air
it's
debate.
close.
It's close. Listen, like Kenny C just stated, me and Kenny C, we huge proponents of MJ. We think MJ overall is the GOAT when it's all said and done. When we had those GOAT discussions of who is better, the best player to ever play the game, LeBron or MJ. Me and Kenny C, we go with MJ. You know what I'm saying? I had this episode with my dad back home on my podcast version on S Street Media. We dived in this topic.
GOAT. The greatest of all time, the GOAT is Michael Jordan. He's the greatest to ever string up a pair of sneakers. You know what I'm saying? He got the championship 6 for 6. You know, the scoring. I mean, everything. I mean, LeBron James is the best in this era. But if you pass gas in this era, it's a foul. All right? When Jordan and the rest of those cats was playing, all right, they was getting knocked out the air. They was getting hand checked. All right? This guy could just fly through the air now, and you can't even touch the guy. You know what I'm saying? That's the era we live in. I'm not knocking that. But please, because you beat a 73-win team.
Who were banged up, by the way.
Okay.
Of who is the GOAT. And my dad and I both admitted that MJ was the GOAT. Definitely check out that episode. But when I look here, and I thought about it this morning, you do bring up great points that, yes, guys was getting hand checked, hand lifted, tackled in the air. It was harder to score. Now
Like, look
you're
at that
breathing
era,
somebody's
man.
face. It's a foul and all that. We all
You can't
know
even
that.
touch the guy's fingernail.
You can't even touch
It's
the
a foul.
fingernail. It's you know, you stare at a guy, it's a foul. Like Trey Young, staring at a guy, you get a technical. I mean, it's just ridiculous. But let's look at the tail of the tape here. Offensively, yes,
Give it to us, Leo.
LeBron James has passed Jordan. That's a plus for LeBron James,
Mhm.
right? Jordan still averaged more points than LeBron
Yes,
James.
sir. I was
30
gonna
points.
say that. There
30
it
points
is.
a game. LeBron James 27 points a game.
Putting him at 5th for the all-time
But
in that category.
Kenny C, even though I think Jordan is the GOAT,
Mm-hmm.
I look at it differently. I say Jordan is the GOAT because of what he does defensively. That's why I believe LeBron James, if we really look at these stats, I would actually say LeBron James offensively is better than Jordan. And this is why. Because LeBron James is top 10 in assists. So it's not only
is true.
the scoring, it's the assists. Getting guys involved, making guys better, getting them open shots because you so hard to guard that we double you and then we leave somebody open. LeBron James know how to dish it out. He's almost a better passer than Magic. He's right up there. So he's Magic and he's a scorer. He probably don't score as much as Jordan does, but the assists, when you think about it, assists in the league history, Michael Jordan is ranked number 44 with 5,633. LeBron James is ranked number 10. Is in the top 10, 8,577. That's why I believe what LeBron James do with getting other players better is why he's better offensively. Now, that's not to discredit Jordan offensively. He couldn't be stopped. He has a clutcher gene than LeBron James
I was
does.
just about to say that.
And
Leo.
in playoff times and finals, we all know what was going to
I
happen.
gave you those stats, man.
But
40,
as
what,
far
40
as
points?
as an all-around offensive player, I say LeBron James is better. That doesn't mean I say he's the GOAT, ladies and gentlemen.
Mhm.
The reason why I think Jordan is the GOAT is offensively
defense.
along with the defense. Because if you look
All-around
at defense,
player.
all-around player. You see what I'm saying? Third in steals in the history of the game. 2,514.
Yeah, he had 3 steals titles, too.
LeBron James is number
Three-time steal
16, 1,929.
Mhm.
So, defensively, as an all-around player, Jordan is the GOAT. But as far as offensively, I can make a scenario for LeBron James.
Okay, Leo,
It's close.
So going back to the clutch factor, that would have been, that was my rebuttal to that. Yes, 100%. Assists is huge, and being that Jordan ranks 44th all time on that list, LeBron has a bit of an edge with that. But then clutchness is based off almost entirely offense. And you look at Jordan, this man literally has, you could type up a resume for his clutch moments. I mean, the shrug game in '92, his 63-point performance in the TD Garden in the playoffs against the Celtics, against one of the greatest starting fives of all time. That was in the late 80s when defense was defense. The flu game in '97, we all know about that. The falling shot against Byron Russell in Utah in the '98 finals. I mean, the list the list goes on. And you know, you look at LeBron in terms of clutchness. Yes, obviously he's had his clutch moments, but when it comes to a player offensively taking their team down at the end of the game, winning the game, and capping it off, you know, themselves, Jordan's done that. LeBron, you look at the finals with the Heat, Bosh dished it out to Ray Allen, Allen ended it, and then Kyrie put the dagger against the Warriors.
But
it wasn't
that's
LeBron that did it.
James getting his guys those available shots. LeBron James plays the game differently from Jordan. LeBron James is more of an assist. He's a State Farm agent. I assist you. You know what I'm saying? He assisted Ray Allen that shot. Ray Allen would have never got that shot if the attention wasn't drawn on LeBron James. He was wide open. Same thing with Kyrie. Going down to the other end, making that block on Iguodala and being able to dish the ball out to Kyrie. Kyrie hit that shot. So, as I do believe where you're coming from with your argument, which you were right about Jordan's clutchness, we all know he's more clutcher than LeBron James. He's taking that final shot. I think it goes more of serving his purpose as being the GOAT than it is him being a better offensive player. That's why I think that argument could be used. As those are the highlights of a GOAT.
I could definitely see that.
You know, if you talk about the GOAT, you think of those highlights, the flu game, and all that. But as far as skill sets, offensively, the IQ, being smart, knowing the whole court around you, being able to get guys open and get your own shot, I think that's LeBron James. That's LeBron James territory. That's why I believe he's a better offensive player.
I see where you're coming from. And, you know, like you said, it is very close. But, you know, just the fact that Jordan, you know, in terms of scoring, you know, maybe offensively he has the edge because of the assist, but, like, scoring, it's hands down, obviously, Jordan. He literally has the career average over LeBron.
He played less games than LeBron James.
Exactly.
LeBron James played 1,900 games, and Jordan played 1,072 games. And obviously,
that's like 2 seasons worth.
You know, but
practically,
if we go toe to toe, you know, let's say if we talking about GOAT conversations, you know, because everybody probably gonna want to hear that. When it comes to GOAT conversations, I think it's Jordan. I mean, 5 MVPs, 5 MVPs for Jordan, 4 for LeBron. LeBron James is 3-6 in finals. Jordan is 6-0. So Jordan won 6 finals. LeBron James lost 6. So you get what I'm saying? Eliminated.
And also, what you said, sorry to cut you off, but I just want to throw this in. Going back to the defensive, Jordan has, you know, Defensive Player of the Year once. LeBron doesn't have any. Jordan has 9 defensive titles in the year, and LeBron has 5. So,
but when you look at
who
was eliminated in the first round, Jordan was eliminated 3 times. LeBron James 0. Obviously, he's not going to make the playoffs this year, so that's going to be a blemish on his resume.
Exactly.
So that's what I'm saying. Look, the fact that LeBron James could be in this conversation is an achievement enough, because he's in this conversation. There are stats where LeBron James actually defeats Michael Jordan, which is amazing.
Oh yeah.
And we have to sit here.
That's why it's so neck and neck.
That's why we have to sit here and actually witness greatness. We can't hate on this greatness that we had. You know what I'm saying? Because LeBron James, we ain't gonna never get another LeBron James. You know what I'm saying? LeBron James, what he's doing. Obviously, the political side with Jordan doesn't speak at all. He's counting his money, dollar bill, while somebody getting shot across the street for his sneakers. You know, just everything that LeBron James bring. LeBron James has a chance to surpass Michael Jordan as a GOAT. He has a chance. Do I think he will? No, but he still has a chance. He's still playing. He take care of his body.
Like you said, if you're looking at it in a complete basketball sense, not what he did off the court and stuff, you know. Yes, that's great that LeBron has done all that, but like you just said, like, will he ever pass him? In terms of basketball on the court, I don't think he ever will. And, you know, going back to what you said about how LeBron has the edge in assists, but you also did say they're 2 different players, you know what I mean? So Jordan's kind of like the he's going to lead the team, get the points, and make the clutch play. And LeBron, he's going to lead the team as well, but he's more, like you said, surveying the court, he's helping out with assists and stuff.
The assist guy.
He's not really clutch.
He's not really clutch, but he's shown clutch genes last year when he had to be. So LeBron James and Michael Jordan, I'm not gonna at some point I am gonna remember those Jordan highlights more than I will LeBron James, and that's always a plus for Jordan. But I'm not gonna, you know, take away from how LeBron James.
I'm not discrediting him.
You know how he comes at the offensive end. What he values more. He values getting his teammates involved. You know what I'm saying? That's how he structures his offense of getting guys involved.
Mm-hmm.
So at the end of the day, if you know, it's like Magic Johnson. He was an assist guy. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
you know, that's what LeBron James specializes in. He's good at it. He's the best at it in this game. You know, and at the end of the day, and that's what I'm saying as far as offensively.
I mean,
If you had to, all right, let me ask you a question.
Mm-hmm.
If you had to build a team around somebody between LeBron James and MJ, who would you build? Who would you build your team around?
Lil, I mean, that's too tough to really answer, because then that goes to the whole thing of the GOAT debate. Because if Jordan's the GOAT, I'm probably gonna build my team around the GOAT. Or if LeBron's the GOAT, I'm probably gonna build my team around LeBron. I really don't have a definitive answer for that question, but because it's literally a coin flip. I'd take either to start my team and to build around. But I mean, hey, look at now with LeBron. We're trying to build around LeBron in LA.
Phil Jackson, so he didn't have to complain. But where LeBron James
LeBron
messed up
is his own coach,
where
apparently.
LeBron James messes up in is the fact that you know, when you think about it, when he was in Cleveland, he didn't have nobody. All right, his second best player,
Kyrie, though, but
and the guy that was probably his second best player other than Varejao, I think was Delonte West, is homeless now or something like that.
yeah.
So, you know, he had to leave there. I just didn't like the fact that he went to Miami to play with Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosh. Then, you know, you're a top
To
10
make the
player,
big three, yeah.
and you come back and you play with Kyrie, Irving. So, you know, LeBron James had things at his disposal too. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, it's a tough debate.
Mhm.
I could
And
argue.
Jordan never left his team.
You know what I'm saying? Once again, he didn't really have to.
I mean,
Stability.
but
You know what I'm saying? Because when
it's
you're in a
true.
good position and you have stability, you have like a Scottie Pippen, you don't have to leave. You have a good
True.
head coach. LeBron James has never got a good
he never
head
had
coach.
a solid coach.
I mean,
Yeah,
he
that's
gets his
true.
head coaches fired, but
Which is
you know,
another big thing about his leadership, but that's a whole different topic.
You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, shout out to LeBron James for eclipsing
Huge
MJ in career
kudos to
points.
him for that.
You know, one thing about LeBron James is he respect his elders. He respect the OGs. He respect MJ because he knew how he was. He looked up to MJ when he was in Akron.
He does respect him, but then, you know, in the past, LeBron's, you know, made some iffy comments saying, "Oh, I'm the greatest" and stuff like that, which showed
I
a little
would
bit
too.
of cockiness.
I
you
would
know?
too. Listen,
It's true, but I don't know. I mean, he
Charles
obviously
Barkley
respects
is my guy.
Jordan,
We gonna get
but-
into Charles Barkley in the next 5 to 10 minutes.
Oh yeah.
Charles Barkley is my guy. I had the pleasure of meeting Charles Barkley one-on-one at
Wow.
the CBS studio in the Final Four 2 years ago.
That's awesome.
You know what I'm saying? That's the guy that I would say, you know, I don't have any idols because I don't worship people. But if I had to say a guy that I would love to imitate, and I feel like he modeled my skill sets, like we model each other's skill sets, because I consider myself like a Charles Barkley when I'm here, because I cut it to you dry, like how it is, how it's supposed to be. I don't shy around anything. I would come out and sound better than Charles Barkley when I get to that point, when I'm in my prime, because that's how I feel. I respect Charles Barkley. I could say, yo, Charles Barkley, that's my guy. I was looking up to him. I wanted to be like him, but now I'm the GOAT because I believe in myself and I believe I possess something that Charles Barkley don't. But I still respect him. So LeBron James, there's nothing wrong with him saying that. I just felt that at the end of the day, he's still in his career, you know. And I
That's
feel
what
like
I'm
I feel
saying,
like he
like-
said it because he kind of knew that he wasn't the GOAT. Over
That's
Jordan.
what I'm saying. I feel like every time LeBron had to bring up something, a comparison to Jordan, or, "Oh, I'm the best, I'm the greatest in the world," like, yes, you are at the time, but if you're talking about overall, like, that's a bit cocky, and you know, you got to hold on till your career is over, my man, before you could just start saying that. Obviously, I agree with you, Leo. Like, yes, you can have confidence, and yes, you could say, "Oh, I'm the best," and be confident in yourself, but everybody knows at the end of the day, like, you know, LeBron's going to be acting all cocky and saying stuff like that, but there's a lot of people, including us two, that think that Jordan still has the edge.
LeBron James. You see, to me, the only reason why I believe that LeBron James is not the GOAT right now is because of LeBron James. Decisions that he made. Starting up that super team, which backfired because you got Golden State out here and you can't beat that team. You started that, you know, you go into LA with a bunch of young guys, automatically thinking guys wanted to play with you that are superstars, when on all actuality, these guys don't want to play with you. It's
Because he tried to ship them
you know what I'm
up.
saying? So
It's just,
you get head coaches fired a lot, so you don't have this ability of having a good head coach. So I believe that's the reason why, it cost him a lot of finals.
No,
you know what I'm saying?
It's true.
So
it's very true, Lil, because Phil Jack, he knew what he was doing. He had the scheme, the triangle offense. He ran it right. He knew what he was doing. With LeBron, I feel like he never had that mentor as a coach
that's
let's lay
why
out.
he should have went to the Spurs.
True.
You know what I'm saying?
He never had
He should've
the
went to the
ability to
Spurs.
lay out like a system with a great coach. It was more LeBron just taking it into his own hands and,
He should have went
I'm
to
not
the
getting a
Spurs.
finals. Oh, I'm going here. It's not working here. I'm going here. Like
When you
he
think about
never
it, and this is why I'm upset at LeBron James.
trusted in the system.
It's not supposed. I know you're LeBron James. First of all, he's being distracted out in LA.
Oh yeah,
and I said this
100%.
before when I got the news that he was going to LA. First of all, I predicted he was going to LA, and then when it happened, I'm saying to myself, this brother gonna be distracted because he's LeBron James. He's the face of the NBA. He's gonna get movie deals. He's gonna get these type of deals. He's in the Space Jam. He has his show to shop. So he's gonna be distracted. No matter who you are, all right, unless you're a robot. When you go to Hollywood and you in Hollywood and you in Los Angeles, you're gonna be distracted. It's just the reality
100%.
of human nature, no matter who you are.
That's just
All
the
right?
city, man.
And he's distracted. And it's his fault that he went to LA because there were other teams that he could have went and contended. He could have went to the Celtics. They would have got rid of Kyrie. He could have went to the 76ers. Embiid.
Oh, totally.
Obviously, Ben Simmons and him, I don't know how that would have worked, but you could have tried it. All right? You could have went there. And you could have went to San Antonio, had stability at the head coaching position with Greg Popovich. But no, you decided to go to LA. Where did LeBron James go before that? Before he went back to Cleveland? Miami.
Yeah,
Miami,
exactly.
LA. It's supposed to be not about the market, but about the head coaching stability and having guys out there that can help you win. And I just think that LeBron James, obviously it could have been family or whatever, but
And
I didn't
also,
like that move.
Another thing, Leo, that I could see, as being a part of the reason why he wanted to go to LA is he pretty much already, dominated the East. So maybe he wanted to go try against the Warriors and try to beat them. So maybe that's why he went to LA and he saw potential there. There is potential there. But since he's went there, it's not looking too good.
It's not, and you have Rondo that's getting to him sitting on the court side
Here we go.
instead
Switching
of sitting with the
topics.
team. I mean, this is what I'm saying. Where is the leadership in the NBA when it comes to these stars and veterans? You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Kyrie Irving, who we gonna get into right after this?
Oh yeah.
LeBron James, Rondo. Nobody wants to be a leader no more. Like I said, the NBA and sports in general has become so individualized. The era of social media, the era of clout. All right, look at me. I got a following. I post when I use the bathroom. I post when I my food or this and that. It's all about me. And this is what gets to me. You gotta, whatever your team going through, you going through it. Don't be out here trying to be an outsider. Sit with your teammates. You're a veteran. You won you a championship. Stay with your teammates. Be that leader and galvanize these young players because you knew how you was when you was a young player growing up.
You know what it is, Lil? It's also that LA component, that Hollywood component, that these guys, they're just distracted as a team. If LeBron's gonna be the leader, LeBron wants to be the captain of the team, so to speak, and he's out there, goofing around with the tampering and trying to get his own players traded, like it's gonna be all discombobulated there. And obviously Rondo, this man's looking childish sitting in the crowd with the fans. Like, what are you guys doing? You guys lost to the Suns a few games ago. You guys should have your heads down, but also have your heads up. Have your heads up on the court and try to win games, but have your heads down and reflect on what the heck is going on
Exactly.
out in LA. What is going on?
I mean,
It's just immature what he's doing. Go sit at the bench with your team. Why are you with fans?
if I was a coach
What are you
and you
doing?
do that, you're going to be sitting with fans when you benched for the next game.
It's true.
You know what I'm saying? Like, come
What are
on,
you
man.
doing?
And these are your veterans. If you're not leading by an example and you're veterans, how are the younger players supposed to follow in your footsteps and be better?
Exactly.
This is what
He's
I don't
supposed to
understand.
be, like you said, a veteran role on the team. He's had finals experience. Like, you have to show these young guys that, you could be a leader, like you're saying, and that you want to win games. By doing stuff like that, that's just the morale for the team is gonna go way down into the dumpster.
And that's what it is, because the Lakers ain't making no playoffs. They just
No,
lost
sir.
to the Nuggets, 115-99. I mean, they was getting blown out. They came back, and then they just got blasted again. I mean, it's just going all wrong. But since we're talking about, these veterans and these stars being leaders, let's go to Charles Barkley's comments on Kyrie Irving. All right, so basically this came after Adam Silver comments saying that a lot of players are unhappy. Charles Barkley comments on Kyrie Irving saying that he is one of the most miserable players he has ever seen.
Mm-hmm.
And, a lot of people agreed and a lot of people disagreed. They try to bring mental illness in this. I don't know how the hell mental illness came up in this. That's another topic for another day. I don't know how the hell that is.
That's just
you dealing with
right there.
players that are cocky, like I said, divas and all that. These guys had money. A lot of money that people won't even come close to touching, seeing. The only time they will see is on TV. And you got to be satisfied. I'm about to get him. I totally agree with Charles Barkley. All right? And Kyrie Irving is my guy. Don't get me wrong. I love watching Kyrie Irving.
Yeah, I like Uncle
His
Drew.
handles, Uncle Drew, one of the best handles. Matter of fact, the best handles in the league. Fun guy to watch. But however, I got to give criticism where criticism is due. This guy was in a good position in Cleveland. Demanded a trade after they lost in the finals. Mind you, they just made a finals appearance. He demanded a trade. I supported him on that. Because I'm like, all right, you don't want to be second fiddle to LeBron James. All right, cool. You wanted to be the guy. You got traded to a contender in Boston. You do realize he could have got traded to the Suns.
Mm-hmm.
He could have got traded to the Charlotte, a bum franchise. Waste of his talents. Sort of like what Kemba Walker's going through over there. But you got traded to Boston, who was in the Eastern Conference Finals that previous year. Okay, cool. You got an excellent talent on your team. You have benches that can be starters on your team, right? You have stability at the head office, from the front office down. Danny Ainge, Brad Stevens, excellent front office. And I just don't know why this brother is unhappy. He's walking into the games like the Rockets game on Sunday, having an attitude, walking in saying, I ain't gonna miss this, with the media when I'm gone. I mean, just entering the games angry, calling out teammates, one-word answers, handling the media terribly.
And the way it's the thing with Irving is, one of the biggest things that I saw that caught my eye was the fact that he's saying he has no interest in being famous and that NBA players, are being exploited. My man, the media has been around for decades. They're not going anywhere. They've been harassing, pop stars, whatever, singers, actors. You're not the only one that's getting harassed by the media. Look at Marshawn Lynch. I'm just here so I don't get fined.
Exactly.
That whole thing. Irving, you're getting $40, $50, $60 million. You're already an NBA champion. You already won the finals. You have a resume. You're Uncle Drew. You're one of the best in the league. I mean, come on. So that right there, what do you mean you don't have any interest in being famous? There's no dropping the fame. Once you get the fame, people know you. That's not going to change. That's not going to go anywhere. The media is still going to harass. He's got to deal with it. Same thing with KD, with him on Twitter talking to 12-year-olds and stuff, responding to fans. What are you doing with that? And it's overall, Lil, what I'm trying to say is social media and the media covering stuff is always going to be around. So I don't know why Kyrie is acting so miserable. He has millions of dollars that I'd gladly take. You can give me 20 mil if you want. I'll take donations.
Sure, give me $20. Give me $20.
That's what I'm saying. So, overall, Kyrie, Barkley's definitely right. You're looking miserable, and I don't care if you think, I can't wait to not deal with this when I leave. No, you're still going to deal with it wherever you go because you're Kyrie Irving.
And when you go to New York, good luck with that.
True.
Good luck with that.
You come to New York, it's like L.A. The media's going to be all up on you, so I don't know what he's thinking.
I don't know what he's thinking at all either. You know what I'm saying? I mean, let's address this elephant, in the room. We got to bring the elephant here. You know what I'm saying?
What's the elephant, Lil?
The elephant is Kyrie Irving.
There it is.
All right? That's the elephant in this room. Kyrie Irving. All right, and not only him, but Rondo. You know what I'm saying? They the elephants in the room.
This man, you kill me, Lil.
You know, that's just how it is. But ladies and gentlemen, 607-753-4819 is the request line that you, my friends and YouTubers listening, is going to call to get
Please
into the
call
show.
in, 'cause we need some input from some fans.
753-4819. Don't be scared to get in the huddle and rebuttal. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll be back after these brief messages.
Completion percentage, most of which were passes standing in the pocket. So you want to talk about his height and his weight, go ahead. The man had a stellar completion percentage in the pocket. Also had 42 touchdowns, and he's been compared to Michael Vick when he leaves the pocket, speed-wise. So I don't want to hear all this negativity regarding, his height, his hand size, he's not a leader, doesn't look at film, blah, blah. Give this man a chance. Everybody jumping the gun. He hasn't even been drafted yet, and people are talking about his film and whatnot. The NFL is a whole different ballgame. They're going to go over film much more extensively, and the coach is definitely, of whatever team he goes to, is definitely going to have him much more involved and incorporated into the offense. So I don't want to hear these critics.
What I'm saying with Kyler Murray right now, with all this criticism, that's
He's fighting for his life.
He's fighting for his life, just like R.kelly.
But you know what?
R.kelly's in a different situation.
He's fighting for his life, Leo, but this man, you could be fighting for your life from the couch, because this man's probably going to get drafted number 1. According to Leo, number 1, and I believe it.
I said it.
They're already shopping Rosen away. Cliff Kingsbury wants him.
A couple weeks ago, I said he was going number 1. Cliff Kingsbury wants him. He knows he wants him, and he's going to draft him. And Josh Rosen is going to get traded somewhere else. See, my problem with Charlie Casserly. Let's address the elephant in the room.
Sir.
I need the elephant to come back in here, because we got to address this elephant in this room. All right, Charlie Casserly, whatever the hell your name is. All right, what are you talking about? All right, I know what this is about. You're throwing shots at Murray because he did not take part in your business preparing NFL prospect for interviews class. Don't be mad that the brother didn't want to take a little stinky class. Don't be mad. Do not be mad. All right, give respect where respect is due. All right, you airing this brother out. For what reason? All right, I'm tired of it. Lamar Jackson went through this last year. And Lamar Jackson didn't go through it as bad as Murray is right now. But Lamar Jackson went through it. They said this brother can do this. The brother made it to the daggone playoffs. Can we stop chastising these quarterbacks and let them prove their worth and their tactics on the football field, please? Right now, the only thing you got, right, he didn't touch the football field yet in the NFL. But he did in college. You have his stats in college. This brother has proven that he is one of the most accurate quarterbacks in college. Brought his team to heights in college. I mean, won the Big 12.
Almost the big bowl game.
Almost a big, you know what I'm saying? Almost a championship. You know what I'm saying? He brought them to the Final Four. I mean, come on.
Alabama.
Come on. He played good in that game even though they lost.
That in itself, their line was non-existent.
Can we stop?
Oh, he's too small. The man carried the team in that game.
Exactly. Can we stop?
300 yards.
They just need to stop. They just need to stop.
It's criticizing him without giving him a chance.
Exactly. It has to stop. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, come on. What about these other quarterbacks that nobody talking about? Like Drew Lock, Ryan Finley, and all those other quarterbacks. We not chastising them, and they haven't even performed on the level as Kyler Murray has performed.
And
so because they late rounders, we going to chastise them?
The reason why, Lil, is because
come on.
A guy with, Murray's resume from college, Heisman winner in the bowl game, they're going to obviously try to pick out and pinpoint stuff that's wrong with him. Because, when has the media and critics not done that about someone that's rising to stardom? So, the later guys, like you said, Drew Lock from Duke, or Daniel Jones from Duke, and Drew Lock from, where is he, Missouri, I think?
Yeah, he's from Missouri.
So, those guys, they're obviously more low-end compared to Murray, so then they're going to go, oh, look at his height, look at his hand size. They're going to try to gun for him, but in reality, you're not taking anything away from this man because he's probably going number 1.
I mean, when this brother grew an inch, it made it seem like Jesus came back. I mean, come on. Come on.
And gained some pounds.
Come on. Come on. Charlie Cassidy, I'm very disappointed. Let the brother play some football, please. Let the brother play some football. He hasn't touched the football field yet. He's going to be drafted number 1. All right, it's already set in stone, in my opinion. All right, so let the brother prove what he has to prove. And if I'm Kyler Murray, I'm taking all this criticism. I'm writing it down on a piece of paper. All right, I'm writing it down. All right, Charlie Cassidy, he want to talk smack? Okay, I'm writing it down. Right, and I'm going to work hard. And then when I do become next Russell Wilson or even better, I'm going to come at these cats. And I'll be like, this is what he said back then. This is what everybody was saying about me. And look at me now. On some Chris Brown, Busta Rhymes, and Little Ring. Look at me now.
It's true, because I feel like he's going to, he's going to probably go number 1, like you said, or top 10 if that, if not 1. And you got to give him a shot. Obviously, wherever he goes, if he goes to the Cardinals, he's most likely going to get the start. But then they also got to build that line. So everybody's talking about his height and his weight and stuff, but he has to prove himself on the football field once he gets drafted. But, I mean, it's going to be hard because if he doesn't have a line and enough good receivers and stuff, he's obviously not going to be as good as, as his potential shows. But I really feel that, like we're saying, the critics need to stop. We need to see what's going to go on and see what's going to happen with him once he gets picked. And that's it. You got to just wait for the future and see what happens.
Exactly. But moving on to the next topic in the NFL, Antonio Brown. Mr. Diva himself. All right. Mr. Diva, Antonio Brown, is set to be dealt by the Steelers on Friday, tomorrow. And the Raiders, the Titans, the Redskins seem to be among the favorites, with the Packers possibly being a dark horse. Kenny C, tell these Central New Yorkers, or these people tuning on the live stream, on the airways, whatever they tuning into, where will AB, Mr. Diva, Antonio Brown, where will he end up tomorrow?
So, honestly, looking at this, I think that, let me break down the teams here. You have the Titans. Titans could use another good receiver. They have Delaney Walker at tight end. And, Corey, another good receiver for them. But I don't think that Mariota will, I don't think it's a good fit for him there, because, I don't know, Mariota, he's had to carry the team last season, but he didn't look too promising throwing the football. Walker was hurt for a while. In fact, like practically the whole season. So I don't know if AB would excel there. Yes, he probably get the targets.
Aloha, my people.
But then you look at the Redskins. The Skins need to figure out their quarterback scenario. We'll get into that breaking news.
We get into that breaking news in the Huddle news for sure.
And
I think that takes them out.
Yeah, they have to settle in with the quarterback first. I don't know what trade value they really have besides picks. And then you break it down with the Packers and the Raiders. The Raiders, first, let me say this. Where do I want to see Brown get traded? Being that I'm a Green Bay fan, obviously I think the Packers need him and could use him. His immense talent for a receiving core could be much used. And Aaron Rodgers needs a top target. This man has not had one since Jordy Nelson. Randall Cobb is gone. We lost Cobb. Devontae Adams has been our number 1 guy. Jimmy Graham, for whatever reason, we just signed back. This man is more washed up than a dog after a nice bath. So you got to get him out of there. I don't know why we brought him back. I think Green Bay could use him, Leo. But I believe the Raiders are taking him tomorrow. They have the draft picks. They have, a lot of cap space. I think they're gonna take him. They're taking Antonio Brown. They traded Amari to Dallas. I think it would be a good fit for the Raiders to, have a team rebuild and establish a solid squad with Derek Carr having another weapon. It's got to be the Raiders. It's got to be Gruden and the Raiders.
It better be the Raiders, and this is why. Oh, water got in my eye, ladies and gentlemen. Water got in my eyes. But I'm still back, ladies and gentlemen. But like I said, it better be the Raiders. Because John Gruden, as we all know, I can't even count the many times that I brought this brother out and I aired this brother on the show. I mean, this brother has everything John Gruden. You know how everything, Jesus touch turned to gold or to wine or whatever?
Water to wine. Yeah.
Water to wine. Everything John Gruden has touched has been an earthquake, a disaster. Okay? Ever since he came on the Raiders, he has messed things up. Trading away Khalil Mack. All right, trading away Amari Cooper, your best wide receiver. I mean, my gosh, just because he's a household name, does that mean he knows the game anymore? All right, sometimes things get old. People in their prime just don't have the time to blossom like a tree in the shine. All right, this brother has messed everything up since he came back. So, in my eyes, getting Antonio Brown will be the only thing good this guy has done. I mean, you traded away your best assets. I mean, at least they got the picks for it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they have 3 picks in the first round.
Yeah, 3
They had
in
the
the
number
first
4
round.
pick, they had the number 24, and the number 27 pick, in which they traded Amari Cooper and Khalil Mack. That's why they had those picks. So, I
Which
mean,
is
my
why
gosh.
those could be good moves, but
They better get Antonio Brown.
it's like the Knicks.
I don't care.
It's like the Knicks scenario.
How exactly? I don't care how exactly.
You're gonna
Just
make a
the
trade
Knicks.
like that, clear up the
Excellent.
space.
Excellent.
You better
Excellent point.
do what you need to do.
You better do what you need to do. And now that you bring up the Knicks, I mean, I can't stop because
He's
I'm a
going
Knicks
off,
fan.
I got him set off.
I'm set it off like Jada Pickett and whatever. Oh my gosh, Jada Pickett
Now I got
and
this
Queen
man
Latifah.
started.
All right, set it off. Set it off like it's the 4th of July. Ladies and gentlemen, we in the huddle. But like I said, John Gruden, you have messed everything up. You better get AD tomorrow. Because the Steelers already know who they're dealing with. They already said they got
Exactly.
the team.
Mhm.
And that team better be.
I'm pretty sure.
Get Derek Carr some help.
I'm almost
and
sure
let's
it's the
stop
Raiders, Leo.
chastising Derek Carr. We forget that this guy was in the MVP discussion 2 years ago. Yes, he has a terrible bad team. But when your team is terrible, when they trade your number 1 asset, when you don't have a line, when Marshawn Lynch has his moments, I mean, what else do you expect Derek Carr to do?
It's true.
Get this brother Antonio Brown and let's see who the real Derek Carr is. Who the real Carr driving that engine is. All right? Uber everywhere.
They need to make this move. And tomorrow, I believe, we're going to get the breaking news, Bleacher Report, ESPN, whatever else you have on your phone.
Exactly.
That he's been traded.
But
with
you're
the
hearing
3
it here.
first-round picks.
You're hearing it here in the huddle.
You heard the predictions here. We're almost certain. And honestly, I would be shocked if the
I'll be
Raiders
shocked.
didn't get him.
But watch out for the Packers, though.
I mean, Green
Watch out
Bay,
for the Packers.
going back to
Aaron
them, they've been
Rodgers
too...
need some help.
They've been too low-key with what they've been doing. I don't know why we're considering signing back, 2 veterans, Jimmy Graham and Muhammad Wilkerson. What have they done for us? They've done nothing. Jimmy Graham got hurt. He did nothing. Muhammad Wilkerson, subpar in the line. I think he got like 6 sacks or something like that. Low-end stats. Obviously we just got rid of Randall Cobb and Clay Matthews, which, as much as I love those 2 guys for years, Randall Cobb was a great slot receiver for us, and he was on the decline, so I think it's time to say goodbye to him. Clay Matthews, he's a leader on the defense, supposed to be a leader. Last season he was better than his past 2, but he's pretty much gone. So we got the cap space.
I can see.
I don't know.
the
We got to make a
Titans,
move.
too. The Titans
We
being
have
a
to
dark
make a
horse.
move.
I can see Titans being a dark horse too because they need a wide receiver. Obviously, they got their 2.
It's true.
They got their 2 backs. And
Yeah, Corey Davis
Derrick
and-
Henry.
Yeah,
And
Corey
Deion
Davis is a
Lewis.
solid receiver.
And Corey Davis solid, but you're not going to scare me with Corey Davis. So
Yeah, they need some talent there
having
as well.
Antonio Brown there, my thing is, is that a good fit?
Mhm.
I don't know because they run that read option offense with Mariota. Antonio Brown is that deep threat. I just don't see that
Mario doesn't
working
really
out.
have that type of caliber to him.
That's what I'm saying. So that's why I think with Derek Carr having that arm that he has, loving to throw the ball deep,
Oh, he's like compared to Brett Favre.
Antonio Brown, the Raiders seem like the best fit to me, along with the Rodgers fit too.
Yeah, I'm
Either
ruling out the
two.
Redskins
Either the
without a
two.
doubt. I'm ruling out the Skins.
I'm ruling out the Redskins.
Shout
too.
out to my Uncle Gary. I'm sorry, sorry I have to rule out your Skins, but it's probably the truth because I don't know, what value they really have to trade for him, and they don't want to probably give up their first round pick. So that's another thing with Green Bay. We don't really have. Yes, we obviously think we have 2 first round picks, but do we really want to give that up? And risk getting a great young athlete in this draft? I don't know, but it would definitely be a good fit because Rodgers needs that deep threat, like we said. But I also feel like Green Bay needs to get better D linemen, get Muhammad Wilkerson out of there, and they also need to bulk up that offensive line again. That was easily top 3, top 5 a few years ago. I don't know what happened to that, but
Well, we'll see what happens tomorrow when AB get traded. I say the Raiders. Kenny C say the Raiders. And guess what? Y'all are some haters. 607-753-4819. Once again, 607-753-4819. We'll start taking callers soon when the phone lines start banging like somebody banging on the door that I don't got no daggone patience. Ladies and gentlemen, we here for the nation. We'll be back for the second hour. We may play a song and a couple commercials. And at 7 o'clock sharp, we'll be back at it.
It is now halftime. Vocabulary. Learning starts long before school does. For more tips, go to bornlearning.org. A public service announcement brought to you by United West Council and WSUC 90.5 FM The Dragon. Ladies and gentlemen.
Woo! We out here. In the huddle.
We are back.
Oh, yeah.
WSUC 90.5 FM The Dragon.
753-4819. Once again, 607-753-4819. It's approximately that time, 7:01, hour number 2. And it's time for our famous In the Huddle news. Ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, yes. Kenny C.
Sir.
We start with the breaking news in the Huddle news.
News out here, people. You heard it here on the Huddle. I'm sure you probably saw it on your phones and on whatever apps, whatever sports apps you have. But the Redskins traded for Case Keenum, or trade for Case Keenum. The Broncos send their quarterback and a 7th-round pick to Washington for a 6th-round pick. Looking at this trade, Lil, there was all that hype behind LA getting Keenum, or getting Flacco, and now they're getting rid of Keenum. What are your thoughts on this trade?
I seen this coming once they dealt for Flacco, because I'm like, Keenum obviously is not a guy that's going to take you to the promised land. He's a guy that's going to say, I promised land. But he's not going to take you to the promised land.
They were bound to get rid of him.
You know what I'm saying? It was bound to get rid of him. He didn't look all that impressive compared to the year that he had in Minnesota previously. And I expected it. The Redskins, they needed a quarterback, obviously, with Alex Smith going to be out for this season, too, with that horrific leg injury. They needed a quarterback. Obviously, I thought they would have tried to get Josh Rosen, but it seemed like the Cardinals didn't want to trade him just yet. I guess they're waiting to decide if they want to draft Kyler Murray or not. So I guess, Keenum is better than nothing, right?
I mean, honestly, yeah. You got to pick out of it. And Keenum, they weren't going to use him. So, solid move overall for the Broncos. I don't know about the Redskins. Like you just said, Keenum's not the guy that's going to get you to the promised land. So, I don't know what's going on with the Redskins. We'll have to see what they do in the draft as well. But next on our Huddle news, Conor McGregor, lad.
Conor McGregor!
He will be fighting Cerrone. And, in the words of Conor McGregor, who the bleep is this guy? I've never even heard of Cerrone. He's
50 cents a snitch.
He's probably a good, he's probably a good fighter. But I'm hyped for this. This hold up.
McGregor guy.
There's been a hold up. Oh, definitely. There's been a hold up over the main event slot. The UFC wanted to make it happen in April 13th or possibly July 6th. However, McGregor does not want to fight unless it's the main event. My man, what are you doing? You got your butt whipped by Khabib. Take what you can get right now and get your clout back up.
Get in the ring.
UFC.
Get in the ring. Get your clout back up.
McGregor, put that Irish pride aside, my man. Beat this guy down. Have everybody talking about you again.
I mean, I know St. Patrick's Day is coming up soon. I know that's this weekend. But still, my brother, you got to put the pride aside. Get in the ring.
And the next thing on the Huddle news here, the Baltimore Ravens, chose to keep tight end Nick Boyle, extending him to a 3-year, $18 million deal. According to Adam Schefter, at least 10 teams would have been interested.
Yes.
So just judging from that, my man, or my guy, whatever you want to say, to the whole organization, what are you guys doing?
Let me find out, my brother. Let me find out, my man.
What are you guys doing?
Let me find out. There's something looming, though.
213 yards with 0 touchdowns last season. Yes, he's 26 and young, or young-ish. But 10 teams wanted the guy.
Youngish.
Use him for trade value and get something out of it. Maybe get some picks for this draft. Stupid move, in my opinion, for the Ravens. I don't know.
I
don't know what's going on.
He's a he does stuff that doesn't appear in the stat sheet. He doesn't do the glamorous things that pop out like Mary Poppins, pop. You know, he doesn't do all that. You know, but he blocks. You know, in that running system that they got with Lamar Jackson, when they run the ball and they set up Lamar Jackson, run first, you know, pass second with Lamar Jackson. Obviously, he was going to throw the ball probably 10 to 15 times. They're going to run the ball. I mean, he blocks, and he's a great blocking tight end amongst the best in the league. And I guess, you know, it sets up that successful running game that they run and run.
If I'm the Ravens, though, I'm using that for potential because they maybe could have got a better tight end out of it, like, you know, a Todd Heap kind of guy that they used to have, a guy that could block and catch. And honestly, it's up for grabs about the decision.
Like I say, for the blocking reasons,
have potential,
I understand why.
But the blocking reasons, that's definitely a plus
it doesn't show up in the stat sheet
for their system.
And you know, at the end of the day, you know, outside of the offensive line, a tight end is a quarterback's best friend. You know.
Yeah.
And guess what?
Safe route.
How many of us have that?
True.
But next in the Huddle news,
what do we have, Leo?
Meek Mill. Shout out to Meek. You know,
Philly.
my roommate from freshman year watching the show. We about to get into some Meek Mill out here. Shout out to the Philly dogs out here. Roof, the dog pound lives forever and ever. You know, but Meek Mill says that LeBron James. Well, I repeat. Meek Mill says on LeBron James' HBO show, The Shop, that you don't owe family and friends nothing. Nada. Zero. After success. Kenny C, what's your opinion on that? Do you owe family or friends anything once you make it?
From Meek Mill's standpoint, you know, if you make it big and your family and friends did nothing to contribute to you getting to where you got to, then I could agree with Meek on that, because that man raised in the streets of Philly, you know, the hood area. You know, with his mom, in all his songs, he talks about his mom, you know, selling crack or using crack, whatever. Probably didn't have a big influence on him. I'm pretty sure his dad was non-existent in the picture. So if I'm Meek Mill and I made millions off of, you know, the love of my career in rapping, and that's a hard industry to get into in itself.
Competition.
I agree with Meek.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not gonna give back to my family if, you know, if my mom is doing crack or something like that and I don't even have my dad around. What do I have to give back? I'm giving back to myself. But on the other hand, if your family is a big part of your life, and with me, I know I value family the most. That's like the biggest thing for me. I'm giving back to my family 100%. If they were there for me and, you know, they're putting food on the table and, you know, a shelter over my head, 100% I'm going to give back to everybody. You know, so it can go two ways.
It could go two ways. I kind of understand where he's coming from when he says you don't owe family anything, because naturally you don't. You really don't.
Talent. It was your talent.
You know what I'm saying? You really don't. But me being the big proponent of family, at the end of the day, to me, it's family over everything.
100%.
You know what I'm saying? If family got in the way of a career, it's no career. You know?
It's true.
Family is everything. So, yes, you don't owe them anything, but loving family who looks out for you as you should look out for them, you know, you have to spread the love. There's the documentary that came out on Trent Richardson, who just got into the new league that came out. And then I saw the documentary, and this brother almost went broke looking out for his family. He had a house with his family in it. You know, constantly giving. Obviously, it did backfire to some degree because his family was spending checks in his account. But you see that love that the brother had for his family. And yes, it kind of backfired in a way, but I'm pretty sure there were some family members that were appreciative of what he did and giving. His brother was crying tears, you know, appreciative of his brother giving on to him. So at the end of the day, I know me personally, I don't owe them anything. If I was to make it, I'm still going to, you know, give my family. I'm make sure my mama live in the house. I'm making sure my daddy good. I'm making sure my niece and my sisters and my brothers and my uncles and my aunts and you know the cousins, whatever. I'm making sure they good. You know what I'm saying? Even the people that probably was funny. You know, that's just me. That's just the big heart that I had. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day,
I 100% agree. I would definitely give back to all of my family. You know, no matter what. But, I was just trying to make the point as if, like, you had a bad family life, you know what I mean? Like, if you were raised in a bad household or whatever the case was, and, like, yeah, 100%, I know what you mean by you don't owe them anything because it's your talent. Your talent got you to where you are now. But, if you're raised in a bad household and you don't even have a dad or a mom, whatever the case is, there could be reason to not give back. But, Leo, I agree with you. I'm giving back to my family 100%. And we're going to make it, Leo. We bringing the huddle somewhere. We got to get it somewhere.
We're going to bring the huddle. I don't care if it's the Fan. I don't care if it's ESPN. I don't care if it's CBS.
Sign us.
I mean, we calling y'all out right now. Let's get us a deal. If you know somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody, get us to somebody. Because we ready to bring this huddle into the mainstream world. We will soon, ladies and gentlemen. Mark it down into the Lamb's Book of Life. But anyway, our last in the huddle topic for today, the MLB, the Baseball League, is set to have their All-Star game air on Election Day. Which, to me, is a little bit controversial because, whether or not how you feel about voting. And, a lot of people have their criticism of voting. Some people don't go out to vote at all, but there's some people who do. In a day where you're supposed to be voting. Especially the presidential election should be on that day coming up, I believe. It's coming up.
Mm-hmm.
So, I believe this is the year of this election day is a presidential election, I believe. If I'm mistaken, you can quote me.
I don't know. I don't think it's presidential.
But it's going to be an election.
Trump still has like a few years.
Yeah, whatever election is going to be. Guys are supposed to be out there voting. And, this kind of distracts the average baseball fan who's like, yo, I'm preparing for this All-Star game today. And I woke up late. So, you know what? Screw the voting. So,
I mean, it'll definitely, being that it's going to be on the same day, it'll definitely take votes away for people that are going to the game.
Yeah.
Because it's the All-Star game and the MLB is huge.
Who's watching to the game.
Yeah.
Who's watching the game, rather.
Because the All-Star game is huge because that decides home field advantage.
Because you mean to tell me.
World Series.
You mean to tell me I got tickets to the All-Star game and I'm going to make my way out to vote before I go to the All-Star game on the way to the game? Or... if the game is whack, or the game is nice, I'm gonna leave to get ahead of traffic, to beat traffic, to go vote before the night is out. I mean, come on.
It's a little far fetched, and it was probably bad planning on
I think it's bad
behalf of the MLB.
And it may take away some views. Who knows? You was just about to bring up a point about how the MLB is big.
Mm-hmm. With the All-Star game,
with all the traction of the voting,
and
CNN probably gonna pop out headlines and stuff like that. Or we may have another Russia interference in the election, or whatever it is. That could take away from the views.
True.
So to me, that's bad management. But hey, at the end of the day, I'm not the ones cutting the check. And, it is what it is. And I'm starving like Marvin right now. Oh my gosh. Like, I'm over here thinking about food. You know what I'm saying? I could use one of them hot dogs at the MLB stand. You know what I'm saying? One of them nice hot dogs. Take me out to the ball game.
Another thing that's going to deter people from leaving to go vote.
Yeah.
For the food and beer and all that. But
the popcorn, the pretzels.
All right, Lil, you making me hungry now, man.
Yo, I'm starving right now, man. But anyway, on to the next topic. Since we are already in baseball, we might as well get into more baseball.
Wraps up the Huddle news.
That wraps up the Huddle news, and we'll be back for the Huddle news next week. Obviously, after halftime, we always have the Huddle news. But our next topic, since we're on baseball, Bryce Harper. He's already making headlines. All right, we already know about that famous 13-year, $330 million deal, which I still do not understand why. Because when you think about it, I don't want to get too much into this because we already got too much into it, but 13 years. What if, you got to realize, if the brothers start regressing after 4 years, right? In the next 4 years, 5 years. Yep. He still got 6 or 7 more years that he has on that contract with no trade clause.
That's what I was saying, Leo. That's what I said. When they gave this man the deal, it's big deals historically in sports have never worked out in the favor of the team. The player has never played to their full potential for every single season of that contract. 10 years is way too long. I definitely disagree with it. We said that.
Like 4 or 5 years into the deal, he could fall off a cliff. And then the brother still got 6 or 7 more years left.
True.
That's crazy. But the brother is already setting things off by making recruiting trips.
Yes, sir.
Tampering.
Getting into that tampering
collusion.
He's trying to
Collusion,
get-
no confusion,
he's-
but collusion.
He's trying to get, former AL MVP,
Mike
multiple
Trout,
All-Star,
the best
multiple
player,
All-Star
the best
appearances.
player in baseball, possibly.
True. He's
Mike
definitely
Trout.
up there for discussion. And I saw some crazy article on the potential. It said something like Mike Trout, $400 million, question mark.
I saw that too.
That's ridiculous.
It's possible.
That'd
it's
be
possible.
insane.
It's possible.
But that would break the bank even more than Harper and Machado. But then we go back to what we just said. A player's longevity with the contract usually does not last. So going to this tampering thing though, Leo, obviously Trout is an incredible player, and Philly also already has a decent starting squad.
They have a decent one amongst the
A lot
best
of
in
potential.
baseball.
Mm-hmm.
And my thing here, it goes back to how I feel about stacking the deck. And I normally see it in basketball. I don't really see it too much in other sports. But now we get to baseball, and it seems like baseball is taking a page out of the NBA book. And now you have guys wanting to stack the decks. I'm like, listen, compete. That's what makes the game the game. It's competition. You know what I'm saying?
It's true.
Competition amongst ourselves is not a good game. It's against the opponent. And he already is trying to get one of the best baseball players on his team, along with him being one of the best baseball players. And it's just like, they already have a stacked team.
Honestly, he wants Trout because that could bring them the playoffs, and that could bring them a World Series.
They're probably already going to go to the playoffs.
We don't know yet because the season is very long. We'll have to see how Harper plays, this and that, if chemistry's right, if the bats are swinging, the pitching's on. There's a lot of stuff that goes into it, but with this tampering thing, obviously the definition of tampering is the practice, often legal, of professional sports teams negotiating with athletes of other teams. Judging by that definition, I don't know if it's really tampering if Trout's calling out another player to come there. It gets wishy-washy with like where the line is, what tampering is and whatnot. But I think the league is definitely investigating in it, and I think they're investigating the Angels as well to see if they're involved in any tampering with dealing Trout there or whatever. But
Bryce Harper,
you
got you a nice $13 million, 13-year, $330 million deal. Can you please come over here and give me some chicken wings or something? Because I am hungry. I mean, you could come over here and swing by a couple of hot dogs or some chicken wings. I'm starving. I'm over here. I'm supposed to be focused on the show, which I am, and I'm over here thinking about what I'm going to eat. But I feel you. I feel you. I understand what you're saying. So, Bryce, with the tampering issues, he was asked about it through the media, and Bryce Harper had the response. He was not shy about his statements or his allegations. He said, and I quote, "If you don't think that I'm going to call Mike Trout in 2020 to have him come to Philly, you're crazy," Harper told the Philadelphia sports radio stations. So what are your reactions to this statement?
Well, that goes to the whole tampering thing. Is it tampering? Is it not tampering? I don't really know what defines that, in terms of tampering, if that's tampering or not. But I feel like if a guy's going out on a social media platform just generally saying that, first of all, when everybody talks about tampering and stuff, influencing a player to come there, this and that, my man, Mike Trout is one of the best in baseball. He knows Harper is one of the best in baseball. He saw, obviously, where Harper went and what deal he got. He knows the talent that's on the Phillies. Trout's not stupid. He's not oblivious to this. So he already knows the talent's there. So just for Harper to go out and make a general statement like that, I'm going to try to get Trout here. Trout knows you're there. If he wants to go there, he's going to go there. Yeah. You know what I mean? He already knows that Harper is there and the deal that happened and the Phillies' talent. So in my opinion, it's not tampering. He just wants to get him there so that they could try to make the playoffs.
And Trout obviously was asked about it. He said he's aware of it, and it's nothing wrong with it. Obviously the Angels have a big problem with it. They're like, please get this brother to stop tampering. They begging the MLB to do something to give this brother a fine, which the fine don't even matter because his brother just got $330 million. Shoot, fine me $100,000. I don't care. Here you go. I mean, you still could come through the booth and give me them chicken wings. So I'm starving. But you know what I'm saying. So hey, it is what it is. But Mike Trout is one of the best, like I said, in baseball. 39 home runs last year. RBI 79. Possibly may get that $400 million deal in 2020, like you just brought up. So hey, at the end of the day, if you're a Philly person, you know, it's good enough you already got the Philly cheesesteak that
you
you're known
want
for.
Trout.
I mean, you really, it's good enough that I won the Super Bowl 2 years ago. It's good enough that you got Bryce Harper over there. It's good enough that you got Tobias Harris on the 76ers. It's good enough that you still got Ben Simmons. And you still got Embiid indeed. I mean, what else cannot go the right way? Everything's going the right way. Meek Mill out here.
It's true.
I mean, if you're a Philly guy, everything, like I said last week on the show, Philly has the best sports town in the world right now, currently. I know Boston, historically, obviously has the numbers, but right now, currently,
I hate Boston.
I mean,
but you can't take it
it's
away
Philly.
from them. And definitely Philly has it right now. But, you know, just to wrap up the whole Trout Harper thing, Trout, like Lil just said, Philly's hot right now. He could go there. It's very likely. It's just a matter of Philly has the money.
The way to Philly.
You know what I mean? If Philly, they're already, like you said, paying this man a lot of money. So I don't know if they can afford Trout. So we'll have to see what happens with that. But still got a year of baseball before that happens.
Yup. And when we come back, we still got 40 minutes before we get off here. So definitely we'll be back in the next couple of minutes.
Back.
We in PSA, public service announcement. Here we go. Your mother spends the next 10 years worrying about you every single night. Or your little brother spends 7 years without having his best friend around to play with. Sucks to be him. Or your little sister spends 5 years walking all the way home from school by herself. When you commit a gun crime, it's not just you who has to pay the price. It's your entire family. Gun crimes hits home. A public service announcement brought to you by this Project Safe Neighborhoods and the Ad Council. We'll be back in the
Ladies and gentlemen, we are back. WSUC 90.5 FM, The Dragon. The time is now 7:30 p.m. And you are listening to The Huddle with the real Lil and Kenny C.
Yo, what it do?
So, Lil, we're going to jump right back into this. The New York Giants chose not to use their franchise tag on safety Landon Collins. So this is big because the Giants, you know, they never really had a clear reason, as to why they let Collins go. However,
let him go.
Exactly. They really didn't come out with a public statement of why. Guess it was just a business move. They wanted to release some cap space, I'm assuming. And, you know, Collins, he's 25 years old, 3 Pro Bowls in 4 seasons. And the tag would have been $11.5 million. So, you know, the Giants GM Gettleman, I guess he thought that through and, you know, figured, let me not use the tag so I could save some cap space. But, you know, despite the fact Collins was injured a couple times last season,
yeah, he suffers from the injury.
Yeah, he does need to. He also does need to improve his covering skills a bit.
Yeah, he's better off with, like, you know, tackling instead of playing coverage.
Exactly.
You know,
he's more like a blitz the gap sort of safety, more for designed for tackling, making stops, like you just said. And Collins, if you're a safety, you got to work on your coverage skills. But it's no doubt, you know, with 3 Pro Bowls in the last 4 seasons, he's a young guy.
And he was All-Pro in 2016.
Exactly. So I think a team could definitely use him. He's a top free agent out there without a doubt.
Yeah.
And what do you think? Do you think the Giants should have let him go or kept him?
Obviously, I would say this. This is a talent. Obviously, he has these deficiencies, just like how you brought up. But there's a lot of people with deficiencies. And, you know, this is one of their best players. Obviously, he suffered from the injury bug last year, so his stats dropped dramatically. But obviously, I felt like, you know, if he puts in the work, he would be better and he would be a great commodity for the Giants. But they let him go, financial reasons. So at the end of the day, I know some people that's like, you know, why they let him go and hysterical. Yeah, I can see that point. But at the end of the day, I mean, the Giants got some other issues, like the offensive line that they definitely got to beef up. And, you know, OBJ is out here still being a diva again, even though he improved. Obviously, the team wasn't happy about Landon Collins walking. OBJ, one of them people. So At the end of the day, business is business. Like me and Kenny C established last week. You know, it happens.
True, and we'll have to see which team's gonna go out and get him once free agency hits next week, which is big for the NFL. Very eager to see what happens
The
there.
Giants actually added wide receiver Corey Coleman the other day to their team. Obviously, to help the wide receiving core. Obviously, you got OBJ and you have Sterling Shepard, but adding a fast wide receiver like Corey Coleman is a good deal. A guy out of Baylor University, he's very fast. Obviously, he needed to work on some skills. He was on the Browns, got released, and then he was on the Patriots. Didn't really see no action, and now he has an opportunity to actually, be a great commodity for that Giants wide receiving core.
True, and I'm pretty sure he's a young guy, right? So
yeah, very young.
He'll bring some good talent to the team, and definitely.
I believe this is his second year.
And depending on who they get, if they end up getting Haskins in the draft. Obviously, Eli's getting the start for this year, but we'll have to see if that young man can do well with the team.
Especially if they're thinking about drafting Haskins. You know what I'm saying? I think if the Giants draft Haskins, I think the Giants will improve as a team. I think Eli Manning's washed up. I've been saying that for the last couple of years. Nobody wanted to believe me. People were saying Eli forever.
It's definitely true.
And you've been lied to forever.
Because he's been on the decline, and one season he threw like 20-something interceptions. So, he's definitely been on decline in his career. And sooner or later, just like his brother Peyton, it's going to be time to hang up the cleats. But that's why Gettleman and the Giants, let's see who they get in this draft. But, Leo, you want to jump right into this free agency?
Yes, let's jump right into it.
Let's get it going. So, there's a lot of free agents available, like 100 pretty solid players overall that are going to be available for teams to pick up next week. One of the biggest ones that caught my eye, Leo, was Le'Veon. He's ranked in the NFL's tracker as the top agent available. Again, he did gain a hefty amount of weight in the offseason.
Eating too much food, man.
Yeah, too much Burger King.
Eat too much Burger King. I know they got them $1.49 nuggets, but dang, my brother.
He also, he wants a large sum of money, and overall he's a very solid player. He, in the past he's proven to be a split back. He could carry the ball very well and also receive the ball very well.
Let me ask you a question.
But what's his worth?
What's his worth? Exactly. A guy that's been out of the league for the last 2 years, who's eating hamburgers, obviously, who's over there smoking weed and all that other stuff, as you can see in that video. Stacks of pounds of cocaine or whatever the hell that is, right? Would you give this money that deal that he's looking for, knowing all that, knowing that he has been out of action for the last 2 years, knowing that he's on vacation, knowing that he's gaining weight, you need to run on the treadmill or something? Would you give that guy that deal breaker that he wants? I'm not doing it.
Well, Lil, to look at obviously what he did in past seasons, he had phenomenal numbers, and he was an outstanding shifty back. His hesitation and his patience behind the line. Great running back, Pro Bowler, but then there comes the big but. He, like you said, was caught with weed in the picture, and he was eating a lot. He gained a lot of weight. Who knows if he's going to be that shifty back like he used to be. So I agree with you. I'm not paying this man top dollar for a guy that sat out, terrible, leadership skills and terrible team play, sitting out after you get franchise tag because you didn't want that money that they were going to give you. Wanted more. Come on now. It's the diva component. So no, I'm not paying this guy as much as he wants. You're going to take what I give you, or you're not going to play football.
Tell it like it is, my brother. And it seems like the Jets are showing interest. Obviously, with us being in New York, we have a lot of Jets fans out here. My current housemate is a Jets fan. Where do you think would be the best fit for Le'Veon Bell? Do you think the Jets is the best fit, or is there another team that you feel, Le'Veon Bell fits this team?
Well, I'd have to probably think about that a little bit, but
I can tell you straight up why you think. I think the Colts is the best fit for this brother. I've been saying that. Andrew Luck, they need a running back.
They have Marlon Mack though, the young rookie.
But
solid. He's solid last season.
He will be a solid backup to Le'Veon Bell. Think about it.
That's
Le'Veon
true.
Bell,
I mean, he
a
has a
guy that
resume.
you have to account for. Running at least getting 4 or 5 yards of play with Andrew Luck in that arm. I like that. I like the coach.
That's a solid fit. Honestly,
They would have a
going
2
back
running
to
back system, but Le'Veon Bell obviously, if he gets in shape, will have the majority of the touches. And then Marlon Mack, had that 2 running back, pound for pound. Andrew Luck in the pocket, strong arm, wide receiver. I mean, the tight end has been Eric Ebron. Oh my gosh, Eric
that would
Ebron,
be solid.
Le'Veon Bell, Marlon Mack. Don't forget T.Y. Hilton.
And that's
Andrew
what that's
Luck.
what we were talking about.
That's a
Antonio
super
Brown
team.
going too.
You know that's a super team.
It's true.
That's a super team.
That would be a solid squad. Honestly, I'm picking what you said. The New York Jets. That seems like a decent fit because if they bulk up that line a little bit, Sam Darnold, very young, obviously, was a rookie last year. A lot of people doubted him and didn't like him. Oh, this guy's terrible. No, I like the guy. He's a solid quarterback. He's not amazing, but he's still got to prove himself. They got to build the line around him.
For his rookie year, he did pretty
wasn't
good.
bad.
It wasn't bad.
You got to get him receivers and you got to get him a line.
Yeah,
you can't blame
needs
him
help.
entirely.
He needs help.
Exactly.
He showed me a lot of flat. He made me more impressed of him with what he had available to him.
And I feel like if you brought in Le'Veon Bell, he's got the resume, as we've talked about. He was a great running back. If he could bounce back and get back into that shape and be that high-caliber running back that he was, I think the Jets are a good fit. They have Bilal Powell. He's, your ground-pound running back. He has a little speed to him as well. But he'd be a decent third down back, and Bell will be the primary. Then you build the line a little bit. So like you said, Le'Veon Bell is a weapon out there that you got to account for. And it gives Darnold another receiving option because he's a great split back.
Yeah.
He can do both. But
I just say, man, if Le'Veon Bell ended up going to the Colts with that team, Eric Ebron, the 2 running back system, Andrew Luck, T.Y. Hilton, I mean, the defensive line that has improved last year. All right, that's a super team. To me, if that happens and Le'Veon Bell loses weight, obviously, and gets back in shape, to me, that puts the Colts right up there with the Patriots and the Kansas City Chiefs as being the 3 best teams in the AFC.
that's a good fit. That is.
But when we come back from a very short commercial break, and before we go on a commercial break, anything else you want to bring up? Scott and Combine, anybody impress you?
Just a quick thing. I'm sure everybody saw it, Leo, but DK Metcalf was outstanding at the Combine. This man showed up. He's 6'3", 228, 1.9% body fat. He had 27 reps of 225 on the bench, 40.5-inch vertical, 4.3, 340 time. I mean, come on. In the Combine, this man looked like the ideal phenom out of Ole Miss. He was solid in college as well. I think he's a first rounder in my mind, and that was the biggest standout for me. I think, he has a lot of potential to go to a team in the first round and ball out for them, in my opinion.
I would say one thing I took away from that Scouting Combine is Dexter Lawrence. Obviously, he injured himself in the Combine, and obviously this is a guy that got into trouble, as I'm choking up in here, you know what I'm saying? I'm fighting for my life on some R.kelly. I mean, I'm choking up in here, ladies and gentlemen. I'm literally choking up. It's getting hot in here. Here it is, ladies and gentlemen. You know this was coming, man. I'm choking right now, all right? I'm choking. That's me right now. I need some water, ladies and gentlemen. But yeah, Dexter Lawrence, who has got into trouble, obviously, with the substances, couldn't play in the college football playoffs and the national championship. Obviously, had a lot to prove. Obviously, he's still a young talent. But having an injury, scouts are going to look at them and be like, can this brother stay healthy?
It definitely deterred his potential, Lil, and being that he was from the Tide.
And it's a workout. And it's not action. It's literally a workout. Injuring yourself, that doesn't go well for the
That's
brother.
definitely a red flag, and I'm sure some team will draft him because he was a solid, I think, defensive tackle. And he was good for the Tide, so I'm sure someone will pick him, but that's definitely a red flag. Injury at the Combine, that's definitely going to be big.
My leg!
Big, for real. And then another quick mention, Leo. Missouri, out of Missouri, Emmanuel Hall, wide receiver, another wide receiver that stood out to me. Because this man's broad jump was 11 feet 9 inches. So that was the second best in combine history next to Byron Jones, the current cornerback on the Cowboys. He had a 4.39 40-yard dash as well. He didn't partake in the receiver drills, which as a receiver could hurt him. But if the man can jump like that and he's pretty quick, I think he's definitely a good asset for a team. And I'm looking for Emmanuel Hall to go late first, maybe second round.
And it's good that you bring that up because the last 2 seasons, it hasn't been that wide receiver that just snatches your soul out of your daggone chest and have guys wanting to get that wide receiver. It's been about the quarterbacks, the offensive line, the defense. It hasn't been that wide receiver. We still don't have it.
Really since Odell.
Yeah, I like Cooper. Cooper from South Carolina. I think he's the best wide receiver coming out in this draft. Obviously, he's performed well, and if I'm a team that needs a wide receiver, obviously there's teams like that. That's why you have the sweepstakes with Antonio Brown. I would look at Cooper from the South Carolina Gamecocks. I think he's going to be, he's probably going to be one of the first ones. But yeah, it is what it is. See, ladies and gentlemen, we dived into a lot of topics today. You know what I'm saying? We had the baseball, we had the football, we had the basketball, and guess what, ladies and gentlemen? We still got Kenny C's hockey talk and real little boxing to end out the show, ladies and gentlemen. We are in the huddle.
We keep it real. It is about that time where we, get into the final stretch of the show. I'll jump right into this because we're running out of time. Kenny C's Huddle Hockey Talk coming out. Now, the NHL regular season is almost coming to a close with just about 16 games, give or take, left. Goes into early April, and that wraps it up, and then the playoffs start. So it's been a hell of a season thus far. Many teams are trying to push for the playoffs. And just to take a quick look at the top teams, let's look at the standings really fast. Eastern Conference Atlantic Division, the Tampa Bay Lightning have been lighting it up the entire year, 106 points on the season. They are by far the best team in the league and the scariest team in the league. And I do not want to face them first round if I'm, an NHL team. Second in that division, the Bruins, not too far behind, but far enough. They have 89 points. They're in second place, but they're also a great team. And the Toronto Maple Leafs are in third place in that division with 87 points, 2 behind the Bruins. Toronto, another solid team. Those 3 teams are definitely going to be powerhouse teams to beat in the playoffs. Going to the Metro Division, the Washington Capitals took over first place against the New York Islanders, who had it for a while. The Capitals have 85 points. Islanders close in second with 83 points. And in third, the Carolina Hurricanes, 79 points, tied with the Pittsburgh Penguins, 79 points for third place in the Metro Division. And the Philadelphia Flyers and Blue Jackets are coming in close. Blue Jackets with 77, Flyers with 72. All these teams are competing for the top spot in the Metro. In my opinion, the Metro is easily right now the hardest division to compete in, just because there's so much talent that is competing for the first place spot, and they're all close. But the entire league, quite frankly, is within, give or take a few points of each other. Going to the Central Division in the Western Conference, the Nashville Predators, they only lead first place by a point against the Winnipeg Jets, who are in second with 82. The St. Louis Blues at 76 in third, and 73 for the Dallas Stars. All within a few points of each other, like I said. And, most times every year it's like that, where they're within a few points of each other. But a lot of these teams, it's like neck and neck, and we only have 16 games left. So it's going to be whoever wants it more. Then obviously you have the 2 wildcard teams in each conference. But man, oh man, it's coming down to the wire, and I'm interested to see what happens because I'm an avid Islander fan, and I really want my team to pull through. Before I go into all that, Pacific Division, the Calgary Flames, 89 points there in first place, with the San Jose Sharks in second, 86 points. Golden Knights, 79 points in third. So those 3 teams, red hot as well. Calgary, no pun intended, obviously is red hot. And let me jump right into a quick look at the power rankings, because they recently got updated since the past games have gone on in the NHL. Recently, Washington, they hopped up 3 spots to number 6 on the list, and the Carolina Hurricanes moved to 11. So that's 4 teams in the Metropolitan Division alone that are in the top 11 power rankings, with the New York Islanders at number 9 and the Pittsburgh Penguins at number 10. That's pretty incredible to have 4 teams from one division in the top power rankings of the whole league. As I said, the Metro Division, in my opinion, is the most competitive right now and the most, tightly contested for the first place spot. The top 11 rankings are the Tampa Bay Lightning, who I said, incredible team this year, very scary, but we'll have to see the choke factor because, a couple of years ago they lost in the Eastern Conference Finals to the Rangers. That was a few years ago, and then I believe the Rangers played the Kings in that Stanley Cup. So Tampa, they're not known to really come in clutch and get to that cup. They haven't been in a while. I believe they won, I'm not even sure, it was mid-2000s at least, but they're due to get back, and this year they've looked untouchable. Second in the power rankings, Boston Bruins. As I said, Bruins always a solid team. They're usually in the playoffs each and every year. And the Calgary Flames are number 3, San Jose Sharks number 4, Toronto Maple Leafs 5, Caps 6, the Smashville Nashville Preds are 7th, Winnipeg Jets 8th, New York Islanders 9th, Pittsburgh Penguins 10th, and Carolina at 11th. To look at a couple of those Metro Division teams, the Caps, big news regarding their goaltender, Braden Holtby. He became the second fastest goalie in NHL history to get 250 wins in his career. He's just one of 56 goalies in the NHL's illustrious history to hit that mark. Holtby's success in the net has definitely led to the Caps being so great this season. He has the highest win percentage in the league, 61.3%. Last season, Vezina Trophy winner, which goes to the best goaltender in the league. Outstanding last year, definitely helped the Caps to hoist that Stanley Cup last year. Barry Trotz, they lost him, their head coach, to the New York Islanders, but that has not seemed to faze them too much. Another, shout out to another player on their team, Tom Wilson, a winger on the Capitals. Big offensive season for him. 19 goals, 34 points in 48 games. Despite being known as a dirty player, I personally don't like the guy for what he did to the New York Islanders, against the New York Islanders in the playoffs of 2 years ago. Dirty player. He hit our defenseman Thomas Hickey, head checked him. Very dirty player. I really don't like him. But this season he's turned it around. Ever since he was suspended earlier in the season, 14 games, he illegally head checked a player. And he's turned it around. He's been producing for the Caps, and they've been outstanding. Ovechkin, over 40 goals this season. He's been outstanding. The Capitals, always a team to watch, always a contender, and I'm really nervous because they're in first place by 2 points against my Islanders in the Metro. It's going to be tough for us to pull through, but we got to do it. To pretty much wrap it up because we're running out of time, I'll go over the Islanders.
Yeah, go ahead. I mean, if we go over 8 o'clock, we go over 8 o'clock
true.
today.
It's
we don't
true.
got no show
All
after
right.
us. Go ahead, my brother.
All right, so I'll take it easy a little bit then. I'll mention another, couple more NHL news things after the Islanders real fast. But going to the Islanders, another Metro team. They've been shaky since their big win against the Toronto Maple Leafs at the end of February. They're in Uniondale, Long Island, Coliseum, the barn as it's been called. They didn't really welcome back, former captain John Tavares. I talked about that last show on the Huddle Hockey with Kenny C. A lot of booing and harassing him the entire game. We don't like Tavares. We don't need you, and that's what the fans were pretty much chanting the entire game. You're not our captain. We don't need you. This and that. Since we trampled the Leafs 6-1 in that game, that was a great game to watch. I love seeing Tavares with his head down leave the stadium after we crushed his team. We were, in first place at the time, and then the Islanders lost to the Flyers 4-1. That was a terrible loss because we really need every game as, we come down the stretch here. Before that, they played the Capitals. They lost 3-1. The Caps took our spot for first place after that game. Really hurt us because now we're battling back to try to get that sole possession of first. The Islanders, however, bounced back the other night, Monday night. They bounced back, or Tuesday night, by getting a big win in a shootout against the Ottawa Senators, who are trying to make the playoffs as well, but it's not looking too high for them, which is why I was annoyed because they played sloppy. We blew a 3-1 lead in the second period, and the Senators ended up forcing overtime and then forcing a shootout. But luckily for us, young, talented Matthew Barzal, whatever you want to say, he won it in the shootout and put it away. It was a big win for us, but it really alarmed a lot of Islander fans, including myself, because we tend to get we tend to get that, shaky vibe going with the New York Islanders. It's either they're red hot in the beginning of the season and they fall apart at the end, or they're, not so good in the beginning and they try to pick it up at the end and then miss the playoffs. This season, they've been consistent. Can't complain. They've been great. Defense has been well improved. Goalie tandem has been outstanding with Leonard and Greiss. But, moving forward, the Islanders are actually playing right now against Ottawa. That game's underway. They play the Senators again. We better beat them. We need to beat them if we want to tie the Caps for first. Big news, though, for the New York Islanders and NHL fans in general. Robin Leonard left the game the last time we played Ottawa on Tuesday. There's not been an update on his health, and this is a huge concern because he's been very stellar for the New York Islanders in net. This could be a huge loss for us moving forward, depending on how long he's out for. I'm praying to God that this man is okay and will be back in the net and continue to win games for us because he's been outstanding this year. Has had one of the best goals against averages in the league. Top 5 or top 3. Actually, you think he had the best alongside his, partner Thomas Greiss, backup goalie. Not really backup goalie because they tend to switch every other night, which is good because it keeps each goalie fresh and prepared. But we really need Leonard back. And recently, moving on to another team, the Pittsburgh Penguins captain and star centerman Sidney Crosby. He's got 30 goals, 56 assists, total of 86 points in 63 games, which ranks him 4th in the league. Sid the Kid has been stellar the whole season. And, a thing that I admire that he said, as much as I really don't like him because I'm an Islander fan, we clash with the Penguins. Really don't like him. He's a pretty boy. That's another topic. I don't like him. But he said, and I quote, "It's so important right now that we get points. I think we feel that the urgency, I think that we feel that urgency and that the level that we need to find is so important this time of year." What I got out of this statement is that, while his stats are outstanding and they continue to be impeccable every year, he's a great player, great captain for the team. He's basically saying he's more focused on the team winning, the team effort, the team as a whole. LeBron James, he's not focused on winning with the team as a whole. He wants to be the diva, and that's not Crosby in terms of hockey. Crosby is a true captain, great defensive and offensive forward. He's a good two-way forward. Overall, I like what he said because the Pens is their nickname. They always seem to, heat up towards the end of the season and look for them to be a top team moving into the playoffs. Before I wrap up my hockey segment, just wanted to go over some quick news that I saw. The Toronto Maple Leafs, a team that's pushing for the playoffs, just signed their defenseman Mac Hollowell to a 3-year entry-level contract. They announced that Thursday. He was Toronto's 4th-round selection, 118th overall at the 2018 NHL draft. He's only 20 years old, and he led the Ontario Hockey League Blue Liners in goals with 23 and points 72 this season with another team, the Sault Ste. Marie Greyhounds, some Canadian team. So in 254 regular season games, which is over 5 OHL campaigns, the Niagara Falls native, he's had 178 points, which is 41 goals and 137 assists, along with 23 points in 47 playoff outings. So he's been outstanding in the lower leagues, and for Toronto to bring him up and improve their defense, yes, he's young and he has a lot of potential. We got to see how he'll perform in the NHL with the big dogs, especially moving into the playoffs, if the Toronto Maple Leafs choose to use him as a 2nd or 3rd line defenseman. The Islanders, they're a very young team, and a lot of their defensemen are very young, and they ended up developing into great players, Adam Pelech. So I'm eager to see what happens with this young guy. I think he'll be a good fit for Toronto and help them out in the playoff run moving forward. And that pretty much wraps up Kenny C's Huddle Hockey Talk. I'm going to pass it over to the real Lil
for
his
some
boxing.
boxing, ladies and gentlemen. Normally
hit him with the 1-2, Lil.
I'm about to hit y'all with the 1-2 when we have 1-2 commercials. When we come back, we're going to go over time here. Normally we end the show at 8 o'clock. But I guess Anthony just walked up in the building. So we're going to roll over to 8:30 today. Or we will probably woke
Somewhere
up
around
at 8:30,
there.
somewhere around that
I don't
time.
mind.
But when we come back, it's gonna be time for some real little boxing. Don't go nowhere. Website is how you're gonna listen to it. So get a pen, get a paper, jot it
Write that down.
WSUCFM.com. And once again, just subscribe to my YouTube channel at Real Lil TV. Just watch those videos when they get uploaded. Once again, Real Lil TV, REALLEEL TV. Once again, REALLEEL TV. Call up the request line if you got any questions, if you have anything to say related to sports. 607-753-4819. Once again, 607-753-4819. And it's time for the Real Lil Boxing part of the show. Kenny C had his hockey talk before we got on the airwaves. We talked about Kyler Murray. We're going to dive into it again because our guest just walked up in the building, Anthony, who's actually a co-host in the show. So we're going to get right into it with the Real Lil Boxing part of the show. So I'm going to start with this. The WBC has mandated Deontay Wilder, to fight Dominique Breazeale. And they have until April 4th to reach this deal. All right? So, basically, Dominique Breazeale, he has lost only one of his fights. That was to Anthony Joshua, 7th round knockout. You know, obviously, Dominique Breazeale has wanted this Deontay Wilder fight, has called him off multiple times. But, my brother, you're going to know what you're getting into the ring with, because Deontay Wilder is powerful. He's dangerous. You saw what he did. He's dangerous, and he almost turned Tyson Fury into dust when his head hit the canvas. That's so bad that he didn't even want to fight him again, that he pulled out the rematch. Dominique Breazeale, I know you're ready to prove yourself, but you better be ready, all right? Because Deontay Wilder is not to be messed with. He's one of the most dangerous heavyweight boxers in the world. So we'll see. Hopefully, we'll get this fight soon. I think this is an intriguing fight. Obviously, Wilder will be the favorite, but don't count on Breazeale. But Wilder is definitely the favorite. Let's get that, straight ahead. Obviously, if Dominique Breazeale can take advantage of the lack of Deontay Wilder's boxing skills, he can make this fight interesting. But we all know Wilder could be getting schooled the whole fight. He could lose every round up to the 10th or 11th round. But Wilder is so dangerous with his knockout power that he can be trailing the fight and actually knock you out and win. So that's one thing you got to watch out with Wilder, is make sure you don't be lazy with the defense to the point where you get knocked out and then your mama or the referee is reading you a bedtime story in the ring. All right? You don't want that to happen. All right? So Dominique Breazeale, Deontay Wilder should be the next fight for Wilder, as the WBC ordered these two guys to fight. Now, moving on real quickly. Manny Pacquiao has confirmed the Mayweather Super Fight Part 2 is in negotiations. Now, if you watch my lives, you know how I am with Mayweather. I like him, but I don't like him because I don't like that he still support Gucci after the blackface scandal. I'm questioning some of his motives. You know, he's all about the money, but I respect him as a boxer, as a defensive fighter, being a guy that leaves the fight unscathed without a bruise. I mean, it ain't old news. Manny Pacquiao versus Mayweather 2 is in negotiations. Now, Manny Pacquiao, Mayweather, this should be their last fights. This should be a retirement fight. Whoever win will be like they were the best in this era of welterweight division. Manny Pacquiao versus Mayweather. Obviously, Manny Pacquiao has been more engaged. He's been fighting boxers, had more fights compared to Mayweather, fighting karate kids out there in Japan, fighting bums and my co-host is a McGregor guy, so I ain't gonna call him a bum, but he wasn't a professional boxer. He had no boxing experience, and he got brought to glass. So, we'll see. I know a lot of people that jumped off the bandwagon after the first fight because it was boring. It did not live up to the 5 years of hype that it got. It was like a prom dance. Let me take this dance, brother. Side to side, round and round, smack the bride. I don't condone domestic violence, so I ain't gonna say smack the bride. But you know what I mean. I was just trying to rhyme, ladies and gentlemen. But at the end of the day, if we are boxing fans, we should want to see this fight. Because these are two guys in their prime, was one of the best, and we want to see their last chapter of the book, of their own book. So we should want to see this fight, no matter how bad the first one was. I believe this one will be better. Manny Pacquiao obviously had an injured arm, in which Freddie Roach the other day said that Mayweather took advantage of that because he wasn't able to get the injection. So basically, he was fighting with no arm, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, I couldn't do that. And I'm pretty sure Manny Pacquiao, a guy that likes to let his hands go, couldn't do that either. This Saturday, to wrap up the boxing talk, we have Shawn Porter, who was 29-2 and 1. 17 KOs. His 2 losses came to Thurman, in which a fight that I thought he won, even though it was close. He lost to Kell Brook, a guy that he should have beat. So he will be fighting this Saturday against Dennis Yargis, who's 23-3, 11 KOs. So we'll see. We'll see. Porter, he has a rough style of fighting. He's like a bull. Arf, arf, arf. It's like a bull coming at you. That's how Porter fights. You know, could be ugly at times. And I'm choking up here. Let me get some water real quick. Choking up here. We've been going for 2 hours and a half almost. But yeah, Porter is like a bull when he comes at you. And it could be an ugly fight style at times. But it works sometimes, especially when he does come back to the boxing. And he's not fighting ugly. You know what I'm saying? So, and that's a hard fight to prepare for. A guy that's coming at you like a bull, it's a hard tactic to prepare for, because it's annoying. You know, get this guy off me, please. You know, and then you got Yargis, who's currently on an impressive 8-0 run dating back to 2016. Prior to that, he wasn't as impressive. He was 15-3 with back-to-back losses. He took 2 years off, 2014 and 2016. I guess he went back to the drawing table, as you would say, and has looked very good since. So, you know, interesting fight. It's on Fox. The welterweight division is the best division in boxing, and I would love to see Porter get back, you know, to boxing. Obviously, he had a fight against Garcia, which was controversial in my opinion. I thought that was a draw, but hey, he got the nod, and he gonna be fighting Yargis this Saturday on Fox, and that wraps up Real Boxing, and it's time to get into our next segment with our guest Anthony. We're fresh and back on
what up?
the draft.
What's good, boys? What's good?
We in the huddle.
My bad for the late arrival. I missed up the time, but we're here. We're ready to go.
What are we getting into, Ant?
I wanted you guys' thoughts on the combine. I didn't hear you guys earlier. I just popped in. So, what did you guys think? Who impressed you? Who?
I think I brought up
First,
Dexter Lawrence.
Yeah.
His injury.
Yeah.
I think that was unimpressive. Getting injured in the combine. Obviously, we know about the PED issues that caused him from playing in the national championship and the college football playoff. Obviously, it's just a red flag, and I believe that's going to hurt his stock a little bit. You know, knowing that it was non-contact and you're getting injured, you're out of shape, man.
You can't come in the combine and get injured.
Yeah, you can't. I mean, come on. That's like running a relay race.
I mean, I could get a few rolling ankle. I mean, I could see like some of the drills are a little more intensive than others. But
Yeah.
I mean, getting hurt in the combine is just.
Yeah.
What did you guys think of the quarterbacks?
Well,
Kyler Murray continues to get chastised. I mean, you know, you had this cat name.
He just came out. The report you're
Charles,
saying.
yeah, not Charles Barkley. Charles Barkley come out everybody. I think he coming out
He
Murray.
came out of Kyrie today.
I forgot
Yeah, he
his
came out
name.
of Kyrie. We talked about that too. But Charlie Cassidy, he came out and, you know, just flat out disrespected the man. I'm like, listen, let this guy play some football, please.
You know what's crazy? That he called it, poor leadership skills,
Yes.
poor in the classroom in
Yeah.
terms of football IQ.
Doesn't look
But
over
listen,
film.
if you want to, and he hasn't even had a conversation with this guy at the combine. You want to have an opinion on somebody? You have all the resources to go meet this guy. You're telling it from a blank page. You haven't even met the guy, and you're coming out with all this garbage about the. I mean,
Exactly.
You're hurting his stock. You're hurting his ability to get drafted in the NFL, and yet you didn't even meet him. So what's his name? Sorry,
Charlie Cassidy.
Charlie Cassidy. Listen, I thought it was a disgrace. I hated that.
Yeah, he hasn't even given, you know, Murray a chance to play, as me and Lil were stressing earlier. The man hasn't even been drafted yet. He hasn't had any shot to improve on what this guy's saying. Oh, doesn't look at film, poor leadership skills, this and that. I don't want to hear that, because 4,000 yards and 42 touchdowns to me sounds like he was leading his offense pretty well.
He's good.
So,
What do you guys think about him in number 1 overall pick? There's a lot of speculation about
Lil-
him going to the Cardinals.
Lil's
Rose being
saying-
traded.
I said
You're
it.
saying
I
it's
said
number
it.
one.
Like it?
I said it
He
2
likes
weeks
it.
ago. I said
We have to
Kyler
get-
Murray is going to the Cardinals at the number 1 pick, and people was like, Lil, that's a hot take. But guess what? Lil don't make no hot takes. I speak factual takes, ladies and gentlemen.
So he goes number 1. Where do you think Rosen ends up?
I don't
That's
know.
A big
That's a
question
big
mark.
thing. I thought the Redskins
It is
would
a
have
big
tried
question
to get
mark.
Rosen, but they just signed Keenum today. So that takes the Redskins
Yeah.
out of it.
You look at the Giants; they need a quarterback.
They need a quarterback.
I think
But
I
I think the
feel,
Ray-
I feel
the Ray
strong they're
Haskins.
gonna pick Haskins.
Yeah, me too.
I think
I
if
feel
the
like they're
Giants,
gonna go with
the
him.
Giants, I thought Haskins' performance in the combine, he could have done a lot better.
It was mediocre.
It was mediocre.
Yeah.
I mean, you were looking at a guy in the combine, and he's going to perform. You had 1 season at Ohio State, so you're coming in the combine. You really want to impress some people.
No, it's
His
true.
deep ball had some height on it, I have to say. They put an angle
It was
on
a
it. I
solid
like, wow.
deep ball.
And imagine Odell Beckham Jr. running under that.
Oh, he'd be there. He'd be there for that.
But listen, I mean, Haskins, they say he was really impressive. The Giants had a meeting with him one-on-one in the classroom on the board, and his football IQ is out of the world. So if the Giants are really in love with the guy, I think they'll do whatever they can to trade up. Because I don't think Haskins going to be there at 6. I think maybe the Dolphins trade to 2. I mean, with the Jets at 3.
Maybe, yeah.
You know, talk about Oakland's thinking about Murray. There's a report today about
Yes, I heard
possibly
that.
John Gruden-
I heard that.
John Gruden's in love with the guy.
John Gruden's making it too public that he wants Murray because when other teams hear that, they're
They're
probably
going
going to try to trade or trade
they'll
up
try to
or
move up.
take him from you. Like,
Exactly.
it's kind of stupid on Gruden's part to put out all you want to do with the draft. You know,
Mhm.
like I would keep it low key if I was him, but
And even if the Cardinals aren't taking Murray, they're putting this glass screen over the whole thing. It's genius. I think every
It
team
is.
should do that. I think the Giants did that last year. They didn't say anyone who they're taking. You didn't know if
exactly.
they're taking Darnold. You didn't take their road. They just said they liked everybody and they picked Barkley. Apparently, Gettleman fell in love with the guy.
that was
But
a great pick.
it's going to be interesting if Murray is selected 1. That throws the whole draft board. Everybody's going to try and trade up. That's Haskins. Is the
Yeah,
next
Haskins
guy.
is the
It
next
is,
guy.
he is.
I think the
And
rest of
he's
the
good.
quarterbacks. I mean, I don't know if they're. I think they're mediocre.
No,
I don't know.
I
if
mean,
they're that great. I could see Drew Lock.
I could see
I
Drew
was
Lock
just gonna
too.
say,
I can
out
see
of
him.
Missouri,
I could
he arguably had the best performance.
Yeah, I can see
Yeah.
Drew Lock.
because his throws looked effortless and he was on the money with his deep balls. He
Yeah.
ran a 4.69, which was pretty fast for a
Yeah.
quarterback. So-
Daniel Jones. I mean, I think he's a
Yeah,
project.
Duke.
He's a
Yeah,
project.
as anyone can't hear, Lil is talking to the caller about LeBron
I don't care what they say.
passing Jordan.
Exactly. He's the GOAT.
This girl on the call said she does not care what they say. Michael Jordan is the
All
GOAT.
right, have a good night.
And that is the end of the call. So
Thanks for
interesting
calling
call
in the
there.
huddle.
But in the huddle, we finally
R.kelly?
got a caller. I
We
urge
got
you
an
guys to
R.kelly
call
request. All right, I got you. Yeah.
in. Anybody else out there, 607-753-4819. 607-753-4819. Call in.
Call in, get in the huddle.
Will you relay that call to us? I couldn't really hear it that much.
So what
So
was she
basically, you know, it's about LeBron James crying, and obviously, you know, we got into it earlier in the show. That was our first headlining topic about, you know, LeBron James eclipsing MJ's on the scoring list. And me and Kenny C had a big debate. You know, who was the better player offensively? We both agreed that Michael Jordan is the GOAT.
Mhm.
But when it came to offensively, who is the best player to ever play, me and Kenny C disagreed. I look at assists. Obviously, LeBron James is number 10. Jordan is number 44. I look at the assists, along with LeBron James being comparable. Obviously, Jordan is a better scorer, but LeBron James is not too far off.
Yeah.
He just passed him on the list. I look at him, LeBron James' overall game, being able to get guys involved, and along with him being able to take over games at times, as why I think he's the best offensive player. Not the GOAT, because what Jordan brings defensively, obviously his all-time defense, you know, defensive titles, leading the league in steals and stuff like that. But offensively, I think LeBron James is better.
You think LeBron's better overall player?
No,
Offensively.
better offensively.
Offensively.
I said it was
Jordan is
Jordan.
still the GOAT because
I
of
think-
what he brings
I think-
defensively as an
I
I
overall.
said it was Jordan.
He said it was Jordan.
Yeah.
I think better scorer in terms of shooting the ball, in terms of better. If I had to put the ball in the basket, I'm picking Jordan.
Yeah.
Well,
I like the
overall-
fact that you said offensively because
Yeah.
in terms of LeBron's top 10 in assists
Yeah.
and he's top 10 in points. And LeBron did play more games than Jordan. Jordan did it in fewer games to score
Yeah.
that amount of points. I get that. But I think better offensively. I mean, LeBron makes his team, I think, a lot better than Jordan did. He's just the way he plays. He's not a selfish basketball player. He constantly is attacking the rim. He's physical. He's a lot more weight than Jordan did. But I think it's a good comparison. Defensively, like you said, yeah. I mean, both of them are.
Yeah, they're both
It's
incredible
hard.
players. That's
But
why I
the
said.
fact
I didn't come
that-
in here thinking about that question. I'm having
Anthony,
trouble answering
I
that.
said it earlier, to Lil. The question of the GOAT is just, it's so close. It's so, there's so many different components you could talk about to say
Yeah.
who's the GOAT. You can't really make a definitive answer. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's
the
so
fact that
close.
LeBron James is putting himself in the conversation of being the GOAT with MJ is an achievement in itself. And that goes
true.
to a standard of how LeBron James is as a person, as a human being, as an athlete. Being able to take care of his body. There's certain things that LeBron James does that Jordan couldn't do. Like being healthy, being available. Obviously,
But Lil, that also comes with the era too. 'Cause
it comes
Jordan
with the
played in a
era.
much
yeah,
more
it-
physically demanding era.
It comes with the era and the territory. But at the same time, players do get hurt. That's just the reality of the
Oh, yeah,
situation.
100%.
Guys like John Wall who tear their leg up in the bathroom. It's still basketball. It's still a sport. And guys, they injure themselves outside of the game.
Yeah.
So the fact that LeBron James, you think about the players who got hurt in this generation now is a lot. You know what I'm saying? Guys like Embiid can't stay healthy.
Derrick Rose.
Derrick Rose, we know about his situation. So LeBron James being ball dominant, having the ball in his hands, at some point, whether it's in that era or this era, you would think that he would have got injured and missed a lot more time than he did. And it shows his testament of being healthy and taking care of his body.
He does. He takes care of his body very well. And, he's breaking down a little this season.
I mean, Kobe
Yeah,
got hurt.
understandably.
Kobe, how many times Kobe
He's
got
definitely
hurt?
getting worn down.
Kobe got the Achilles injury that declined his career. So
I think regardless, and give it on when LeBron retires and give it like 10 years past that, our generation's gonna look back at LeBron and say, man, that he was the GOAT. Not in terms of better than Jordan, in terms of our generation.
But
He
yeah,
was
the
LeBron
GOAT.
James. You know what I'm saying?
Like, he's the guy you grew up watching. Like, you
Just
watched
like
him.
And
how-
there'll be a lot of people saying Kobe too, but
Yeah.
that there's an elite class of players where you could put those players in.
Exactly.
And they're in that class.
just
both.
like how
Exactly.
people grew up watching MJ and idolizing MJ is the same way people going to be idolizing LeBron. Everybody get their generational guy.
And then they'll
Back
have
then it was Wu-Tang Clan and as a group, and now it's Migos.
Yeah. And then
It's
there'll be
true.
another player that comes along, and you're gonna say, "Well, where does he compare to LeBron? LeBron
Yeah,
did this,
right?
LeBron did that."
That's true.
Which is, I really hate the whole LeBron to the Lakers thing. Every day, the more they lose, they better.
Rondo
gonna be
sitting,
pressure
was a bad move.
Rondo
It
sitting
was
in
a
the
bad
crowd
move.
instead of sitting on the
It's
bench.
just the whole thing's a
It's a
catastrophe.
veteran leadership in the NBA. That's what I was getting to. With Kyrie coming out the media, LeBron James calling out teammates, Rondo sitting with the fans. Why are these veterans not being a leader? Why is everybody so angry and unhappy and they making money?
I don't see why Kyrie is even calling out the media. I mean, what are you doing? What year are you in the NBA? And now you're gonna call out the media and say, "I can't get." What do you say? I can't wait to this to end. or something.
Till this fame ends or something
It's
like
just-
that.
And then you're talking about the Knicks. You're
Forget
All right,
about
then,
it.
Forget about the Knicks, man. If you can't handle being in Boston, forget about New York.
Yeah.
You're gonna be so much more pressure on you. But once again, you're right. They're veteran leaders. They should know better. I don't understand why the Lakers are this bad.
Mhm.
I would have said maybe like they would have been like just on the edge of playoffs. I think they would have made it if I
They're
had
not
to
even
bet.
close now.
But now I think there's like a 3% or
Yeah.
2% chance they
I
get a
saw
top
that.
7 lottery pick if they sit LeBron the rest of the year. Which if they sit LeBron, I think that just sends a horrible message towards the whole organization. I understand the guy's had a lot of minutes, he's lagging a lot, but in terms of you could sit him a little, you don't have to play him the whole game.
I mean, at the same time, he has to get that conglomerate with his players, with his young players, because this is
Yeah.
basically, I don't see no free agent going there right now.
I think this is a 4-year. If LeBron goes to the Lakers, all right, they're not going to win a ring this year. Pretend next year he gets close. He wins it in year 3. In year 4, they don't. It's a success. You won a ring in LA. It's a success. That's the whole thing. It's a 4-year rental of LeBron James here. I don't know if he's going to sign there again. I can't tell you where LeBron's next move is going to be. The guy is the most unpredictable guy ever. One season he's in Miami, then he's in Cleveland. He comes back home. Then he goes
Yeah,
back to
LA,
LA.
yeah.
Who knows? Maybe he goes to the Knicks, but I always
Who
dream
knows?
I won't be surprised. I mean, I would actually embrace that,
I would
with the
embrace
Knicks
it.
been through for these decades. But I would say this. I mean, these guys got to do a better job of leading and being leaders. These guys are veterans. They playing with young people. You have to set the example. Guys is out here you know, Charles Barkley was right. Kyrie is very hard to navigate. He's very ungrateful. At the end of the day, you requested a trade out of Cleveland after just making a finals appearance. And you got traded to Boston. You could have got traded somewhere else that was not a contender. You got traded to Boston with a good front office. Danny Ainge, Brad Stevens, good head coach and all that. Good on everything.
Great city.
Great city, young assets, Tatum, Brown, excellent position. Market, all that. Great sports town, all that. And you're the number one guy to lead that? I mean, you should be happy.
Yeah.
Not even that, but the man is making millions of dollars, like
On
I said
top of that.
before.
In movies, Uncle Drew,
So,
I mean...
this guy,
know.
he's making millions of dollars. He has his resume. He's already won the finals. You can't complain about the media because the media, like I told Lil earlier, Anthony, the media is always going to be there. They're not going anywhere. And like you said, if he comes to New York, forget about it.
I mean, the
'cause media will be all
paparazzi is
over him.
worse.
Will be all over him.
TMZ is worse than the media. TMZ will catch you doing something that you did in your house. Oh, we got him. He's on camera. TMZ, the buffoon. I mean, the media is not compared to TMZ and all these other cats. They're not that bad. You just got to talk to them before the game, after the game, before practice, after practice. That's it. You go home with your family, you spend your little cash, and you do what you do on the dash.
The NBA's become a soap opera.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what it is. I mean, every day you're a new rumor. LeBron's unhappy with this. LeBron's camp. Kyrie doesn't he's not happy in Boston. He wants to go to the Knicks. Katie and Kyrie, All-Star. But it's just ongoing and ongoing. That's why I'm just excited for playoff basketball to start. We can start getting down to the games.
Oh,
Yeah, it's coming down
these Sunday
soon.
primetime
That's gonna be
games
fun.
where it's going to be fun to watch. Who knows? The Eastern Conference is so wide open. Who even knows who's going to come out of that? That's
And
what's so
speaking
exciting
of the
about this
Eastern
year.
Conference, we're going to dive into this final topic. Over here, we have a doubleheader tonight. We have the Pacers
Yes,
and the
sir.
Bucks versus the Thunder at the Trailblazers. Doubleheader. So we get to preview this real quickly, starting with the Pacers and the Bucks. The Pacers, to me, they need to win this game. Why? We all know they're going to make the playoffs, right? But you're missing Oladipo.
Games already
And
started.
on top of that, it started right
on?
now. Exactly. It's starting right now.
Bucks are up by 4.
So they need to win this game because they want to get the number 3 seed. If they get the number 4 seed, they more than likely going to have to play Boston in the first round. And Boston is not a team I want to see in the first round. So they want to win this game. They want to keep ahead with the 76ers to get that 3 seed. And we already know the Bucks is good.
Who would have thought at the beginning of the year that the Celtics would be the 5th seed?
Shouldn't be
Man.
with that talent.
It
Shouldn't be
shouldn't
with that
happen.
talent. They
Who do you got
shouldn't be.
tonight? Well,
So-
the game's already started, but
With the Pacers and the Bucks already clinched, so I mean, I don't know how much they're playing for really, but I feel like they're still gonna ball out. And Tecumpo's playing, right?
yeah, they're
So-
home too.
And you
Bucks are
always
home.
I think they're
show
gonna
for these
finish it
type of
out.
matches. You always show for these good matches. You know what I'm saying?
That's true. I think they're gonna beat the Pacers.
I think the Bucks got this game. I mean, they're already up by 4. Obviously, a lot of basketball to be played, but I like the Pacers winning this game in a close game.
Now the next game.
Who you got, Anthony?
Yeah,
I
who you
got the Bucks.
You got the Bucks.
Next game is very interesting because Oklahoma City is 4th and the Trailblazers are 5th. So this is a huge game tonight.
Oh yeah, it's a huge game.
This is
in the
actually a
standings.
very big game as we come closer to the playoff.
And I will be
push.
watching this whole game in its entirety.
And who you guys got in this one? Because this is
And
going to be
tough.
close.
I like the Trailblazers in that environment at home.
With
Rip
Dame
City,
Dollar?
With Dame Dollar. I call him Damian Dime, but I guess we could have 2 names for the brother. All I know is he's Mr. D guy. All right, Damian Dime, all the time I'm taking this brother. This guy has been playing really good this year. To me, this is the best Trailblazers team in recent memory. Even better than that team that was the number 3 seed last year that lost in the first round to the Pelicans. I like this team. Rodney Hood good pickup. Enes Kanter, guy that's on the beast, on the boards, get you rebounds.
Yes, sir.
I like this Trailblazer team. I think this Oklahoma City team is good. Yes, they're going to do good in the playoffs, but sometimes it can be inconsistent here and there. I like the Trailblazers more.
This determines the 4th seed. They have identical records, so Ant, who
So
you
the same
taking?
with the Rockets too. I mean, they're up top there. They got the same
Yeah.
record as well.
Yeah.
Wow. So this is for the 3rd
The
seed.
Western Conference is tight.
Who you taking?
I like OKC. I like the way Russ is playing.
Is
Paul George are playing.
Because
Is
I
he
know
playing tonight?
I know he wasn't playing the other night, or a couple
We need a
games
little
ago.
update.
Let's see real quick. Because if he's playing that's a big determination if they're gonna come away with it or not.
Paul George, yeah, he's back.
He's back. So
back.
Paul George is back tonight,
they got
ladies
their
and
work cut
gentlemen.
out for them.
But
I think
I'm
home-
still going with the Trailblazers
So,
to win this game in
it
a
gets
close
loud
game.
in that arena,
It
too.
does.
It really does.
That arena
it's
be
hard to go
rocking.
against them, you know.
They be rocking over there. Rip City. Who you got,
Oh,
Kenny?
yeah. Honestly, I'm going with an extremely close game, and I'm saying Dame Dollar's going to hit a clutch shot.
Damian
He's hitting a
Dime.
clutch shot, and
Damian
and the
Dime.
Blazers are going to win it.
Damian Dime all the time on the grind till we shine, ladies and gentlemen. We in the huddle.
Who you got,
607-753-4819. Once again, 607-753-4819. Hurry up. We about to close off. But real quickly, before we end this off,
Mm-hmm.
we and Kenny C got to talk about it. So I want to, you get your all the time in the world to talk about it right now. AB obviously is likely to be dealt on Friday, based on what the Steelers report saying.
Mm-hmm.
You have the Redskins, the Titans, and the Raiders and the Packers as being the dark horse to land AB. Antonio Brown. Who do you think? Where do you think AB ends up tomorrow?
AB's made it clear he wants out. He's out. I hope he doesn't go to the Redskins, and I'm not picking them because I'm a diehard Giants fan, and that would suck. You talk about the Titans, the Packers. What are the Packers going to give up?
That's what I was saying.
You know, who are they going to give up? They have to give up some draft. They're going to have to give up a draft pick easily. I think I said it a couple of weeks ago. I said AB with Aaron Rodgers would be oh my god.
That would be
Yeah,
incredible.
exactly.
But you think about this, AB, you're complaining about your situation in Pittsburgh. You're complaining about Big Ben. You better hope you don't go to a worse quarterback than Big Ben because, listen, AB, tough times are ahead for you. I mean, he's already shown he's got a temper tantrum. I understand that he wants out of Pittsburgh. I didn't think he did it the right way. But again, I still love it. I think he's an unbelievable player. He's still a top, 3 wide receiver in the NFL.
No doubt.
I would love to see him go to the Raiders, and I think
Me
he-
too.
I
think that's where he's
I
going to
think
end
that's
up.
a perfect fit for him.
Mhm.
I think, especially if the Raiders draft a quarterback. I think Carr's gonna. I don't think they are. I would be
Yeah.
surprised if they did. If they drafted Murray, wow.
There was
that would be
rumors
something
about
else.
getting rid of Carr for them, but I don't think they're gonna.
I mean, this guy had an
don't think they dish him
MVP.
away.
This guy had an MVP type of season 2 years ago, and his team was bad last year. So
I feel bad for him, but I think the way he handled the whole situation in terms of leaving, I don't think he was great. He went on IG Live. He's complaining about the money. Then he's complaining about Big Ben. He says it wasn't calling anybody out, but you're calling. It just didn't. He was hurting his own stock.
Yeah.
yeah,
But I think the Raiders would be a great fit. I think that's the best fit for him, especially.
I agree.
I think that's where he wants to go. I mean, listen, give it a year. You move into Vegas.
Yeah.
And Gruden knows it too.
and they
Gruden-
had the 3 picks in the first round.
yeah,
They got a lot
they
of
have
potential.
They have a bunch of cap space too. I saw a
Exactly.
report that they're trying to get AB and Bell. Wow,
Wow.
what would that be like?
That would be insane.
Imagine you draft Murray, you get AB, Bell, and you have Murray as quarterback.
Honestly, I'm saying it right now. The 3 of us are gonna wake up tomorrow, or maybe not wake up and see it, but throughout the day, we're gonna get the alert, and he's gonna be on the Raiders.
Yeah,
I could call it.
I can call it. I can
It
tell
is
it.
going to be wild. It's a star on the move, so it's going to shake up the NFL for sure. I don't think the Redskins. I think they're
out.
of
Yeah,
it.
they're out.
they pretty
I could
much
see
are.
the Titans being a little dark horse in terms of them getting there. I saw a lot
True.
of reports about that, but the Raiders, that could be something. Yeah.
And Green Bay doesn't have much to give up.
I just don't think
like
Green
you
Bay is
said.
enough to give them to
Yeah.
get AB. Although the guy's, how old is he? He's 28 now?
Brown, I believe he's.
I'm looking at some
27?
reports in the New York Times, and they're saying that the asking price was too high for a bunch of teams. But
Wow.
I don't know. I could see the Raiders
The
being.
Raiders got enough ammo to do it, so.
So we'll see, ladies and gentlemen. This is In the Huddle. Once again, our show is on 6 to 8 p.m. on Thursdays. In order to watch it, you have to jot this down, WSUCFM.com. Once again, WSUCFM.com. And I guess that means it's time to end this show.
Ladies
Anthony,
and
thanks for
gentlemen,
hanging out with us.
Thank you.
All right, double header. Tonight is on already. I mean, watch the games, enjoy. Next week we won't be on because I'll be going on vacation. But the
Spring
week
break,
after,
little spring break.
little spring break, the week after we'll be back.
For spring break, you guys going anywhere or no?
Just enjoying home.
Just
man.
enjoying home, enjoying
That's
some
it.
good food.
Before we leave, just like Lil said, please, please, please tune in to the live stream of our show. We are not on the airwaves yet, but we could switch to 8 to 10. definitely tune in.
Yeah, it's
Anthony,
nice, definitely.
we love having you, man.
Of course.
And
Love being
our
on the show.
NFL draft coverage live 8 to 12 on the airwaves on the day of the NFL draft. Don't miss
We'll
it.
all be there for that.
We'll all be
big.
there for that.
It's
So.
going to be a big show of guests, of opinions. Well, it's going to be awesome. It's going to be live. Everything's going to be live, too. It's going to be a crazy
100%.
draft. Maybe not as crazy as last year. Now a lot of quarterbacks are going, but
Yeah.
it's going to be wild. Who knows? It's draft day.
It's going to be a good one.
In 2 weeks.